Hey everyone, welcome to the Rooster Teeth podcast.
Like fast intros, like
we have a packed show tonight. We got Gus, Gavin, Barbara, Jordan, Burnie.
What
and
features
Gus.
do we have?
I said I led with Gus.
Nah.
Save the best
And
for
Gus.
first.
You gotta let me like
Gus
get the big
and Gus.
So what do we have on
Big
today's
flare.
schedule, Gus?
Dicks.
Dicks, okay.
Yeah.
God, that was like you literally like 15 seconds in.
I bet that's
We were
not the
talking
record.
I bet it isn't.
We were talking about dicks before the podcast, so.
We were? Oh, we were.
But when you hold up a
You
cat,
brought it up, Barbara.
when you hold up a cat to a mirror, right? You got the cat in front of the mirror. I'm never impressed with the cat's reaction. The cat never. It's always just like, whatever. I want the cat to be amazed.
There's gifts of cats that see themselves in the mirror and freak the fuck out.
Kittens
I
will
just-
freak out. I think the
Yeah.
younger they are.
I had a dog that would bark at itself. And,
Oh, you
in the
did?
air, yeah.
I just had.
I
I
would
don't.
think it's like a friend and be like, oh, let's play.
Honestly,
Let's start-
Gavin, if you had a cat
play.
or a dog or any pet in your house that reacted to itself every time it saw itself in the mirror, that would be too much for you. And you'd be like, I have to get rid of this animal.
But how often does an animal actually see itself in the mirror?
I get up
Mirrors are
every morning,
never
dude.
like floor height for an
Unless it's
animal.
like that closet door mirror.
Yeah, you'd have to
All
like
houses have.
pick an animal up to show it a mirror.
Look at you.
So I don't think it would come up very often.
Look at your hair. It's a mess.
Because the cat, I mean, right? Do you have any mirrors that go down to the ground? I bet not.
No, I don't have a mirror.
Yeah, you didn't have one.
At what point does hair become fur? 50% coverage?
Is hair, like, how is it different? Is it a different
not.
type of hair?
No.
Well, fur is straight.
What if cats had different hair on their heads than the rest of their body?
Like a
that
lion,
would be awesome.
Like a
I
lion.
want
A
a cat
lion
with-
has a mane, and that's different than the fur on the rest of its body, right?
I guess, yeah. Do they have to trim it? I guess they can.
No. Yeah, if I'm going to the lion barber.
Does Gavin have hair or fur on his chest?
They go to the barber.
What is that considered?
It looks like fur to me.
I think it's coverage. I think at some point hair becomes fur when you reach a certain percentage
Density?
of coverage.
So it's the
I think we're just a different level of furry.
So it's not the type of
'Cause
hair,
we've
it's
got
the
hair.
coverage of the body, is what you're saying.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's the type. It's
If I
got to
had-
be the type.
Yeah, if I had cat fur growing out of my head,
That'd be awesome.
it would be pretty sweet.
You'd be
wouldn't
doing this all day long. You'd be like, yeah,
it? I'd be
Like,
licking
why-
my
I'm a
head.
good boy.
Why are we? Is there any other animal that you can think of where like we have hair and if we don't do anything with it, it gets enormously long? Like a cat doesn't do that. Like you don't have to trim up your cat.
No, but a cat
It's
molts
built
in
in.
it.
Yeah, it's
It
built in for
sheds.
them to not have to do that.
It's built into everything to
So
not
why
have to do
don't
that.
we do
Like
that?
these are super long-haired monkeys.
Right.
You know, why are we the? I mean, like they have like luxurious locks, like they'd be
really
like
funny.
a monkey, like eep eep, and then
Fabio
like,
monkey.
get the hair out of its eyes.
Also, does any other animal go bald?
I think some chimps do, but it
Yeah,
is weird.
They have bald spots on chimps sometimes.
Really?
Yeah.
How embarrassing. Are there like chimp
It's not
toupees?
like on their head though. It's like all over their body.
It's like this is a market that has not been tapped.
Chimp toupee.
Yeah.
I'm
Get
still
on it,
laughing
Gus.
at the idea of a monkey with long hair. Right
Or anything with long
like
hair.
long blonde straight hair for like
A
Fabio.
cat with long
You'd be
hair. What, like your
compatible.
hair, Barbara?
I'd be compatible.
I think you'd be able to supply your hair for a chimp toupee.
Oh, thanks. Is that an insult?
I think it's good.
Okay.
The human being, our hair would never, literally never stop growing. There's no like stopping point.
It does, I think eventually.
Yeah, I think so.
Your hair splits at the ends when it grows longer and it's unkept. And then the more it splits, it'll start to go up the root and like cut the hair off where it splits.
So we just get too many haircuts, and that's
So
why.
your hair will essentially thin out as it gets longer.
So the natural state for human being is to have waist-length hair. That's what we're supposed to have, right?
Or really scraggy hair that's just around our head.
Or like,
Like a mane.
dreaded up, like Afro dread.
Yeah.
Someone's saying that hair keeps growing while fur stops.
What
I
the
think that's a good
difference, though?
point. I think the person's made. This is someone on
Yeah.
Twitter said that. What's his name? Yeah, because hair
SG81?
never stops growing, but hair does stop growing. Like your chest hair doesn't like grow out to
Until you
big.
shave it, and then it forcefully
Okay.
grows.
Fur has multiple fibers
that-
come out of one follicle, while hair has one fiber per follicle. He tweeted that to Burnie and Gustavo. I have no idea who Burnie is or who Gustavo is on Twitter.
It's you, buddy.
So thanks, William Alexander.
There are also some types of rabbits where if you don't trim their teeth go all the way around into their brain.
Right, like rabbits have to gnaw on stuff
Yeah.
to keep their
What
What
teeth.
kind of rabbit is
Up to
that?
the
I think
back there.
any
They're
rabbit.
rabbits, that's why they chew stuff.
Their
rabbits
teeth
have true
will
things to
wrap
keep their-
around and go into their brain.
Yeah, like they keep growing to the point where it would like eventually come back down and puncture their neck.
I always wonder that, like, What's that like? Like, is it just like, I'm just gonna forget about it, and then it's like, oh shit. Like,
Yeah.
it's gotta be gradual, right?
Well, once it's curved to the point where you can't use the sharp bit, you're just boned. You'd be rubbing the smooth bit.
You're literally bone jutting up into your brain.
But I think it's weird that you could kill a rabbit with a field where there's nothing in it.
You mean you could just let the rabbit kill itself?
Well, it would grow it, and it would eat its
But
own brain.
it would eat. You'd have to give it food. Unless you like, or unless you're a sadistic motherfucker who like feeds it intravenously, like this thing's never gonna use its teeth.
Well, you have to admit somebody figured that out somehow, right? So they must have done that.
Yeah.
Some shithead.
And a lot of pet owners will just cut their rabbit's teeth.
You know what that reminds me of?
Oh, how do you
that's
do
gross.
that?
They're not like bone teeth. They're more like fingernail kind of teeth.
So you're saying that fingernail will grow into their brain? Like it'd be hard enough to puncture through their skull to get into their brain, a fingernail?
Yeah, I mean a fingernail's pretty hard if it was in a tooth format, wouldn't it?
Tooth formatted nail.
It must be like those people who grow their nails out super long and they start curling.
Yeah. Oh.
You ever see
Yeah, I
that?
was thinking
hate
the
that.
same thing because, like, you know, when they grow up, they start
The
curling.
funny
So
thing
they
is,
would
like-
just go into the.
I remember as a kid looking at the Guinness Book of World Records, and there was always that guy from
Oh, yeah.
India who had the world's longest fingernails and like
Fingernails.
curled.
Oh, they're so
they were all
gross.
like super long and curled up. My favorite thing about that was it was like so and so lives in India. His fingernails are this long. He's a photographer. It's like, how the fuck is this guy like hitting the button and adjusting shit with these giant
I think his
fingernails?
fingernails would get in the shot every time too.
He holds it with his palms and just uses his face.
Yeah, this is like before digital cameras. Like the motherfucker's like advancing, film manually through a camera.
Oh god. Those always creep me out, the long fingernails. Even when ladies get the fake ones that are a little too long, I don't know. It's
I
just
just
like
picture there's like literally shit under fingernails.
Gross.
There is just fecal matter coated
Well, why
under
do
the
you think
bottom
they
of
grow them
fingernails.
so long?
Fingernails are so fucking disgusting to me.
Yep.
Gotta
You
trim
used to
that.
have long fingernails.
I dispute that.
You dispute everything that I say that you used to do. You used to have a long. Those are fairly significant fingernails.
I have
can
long
see,
beds, is
I
my
can see your
problem.
fingernails
long
over the
beds?
fronts of your
Yeah.
fingers.
Oh, that's pretty long.
Long
I would have
nail
trimmed
beds.
those. I would never get to that.
I need
length.
to trim
This is a
them.
podcast full of men.
What's the front? What's the front of your fingers? The
fingernails
tips?
like
Is this
Yeah.
the front or is this the front?
That's the front.
This is the front of my hands. This is the back of my hand.
That's
That makes
right,
sense.
yeah.
So this is by default the front. I can see fingernail over the front of your hands. That seems like a lot. Look at him.
That's usually the.
It's the way. I think it's the way my
No, I can't
fingers
see
are.
shit on
You can't
that.
see shit. What is this? Fucking internet. We
You
don't
know,
have
like,
great
you had like
cameras.
pointy, delicate nails too.
I do. I have lady hands and lady wrists. I'm
They're very
resigned to
nice.
that. Thank you.
Yeah, look, I've never really looked at your hands, but
But you have man fur. That's the
Man,
important
they're
thing.
also very soft. You want to feel? It's from years of not doing manual labor or not going outside. It's all paid off.
We were having this argument before. Cannibalism. You're saying it is illegal to eat a
It is
human.
definitely illegal. Cannibalism is illegal in the
Right.
U.S.
Oh yeah.
But where does cannibalism start?
It's what? What do you mean? Where does it start?
When you
Like,
eat a
There's
person.
some delicacies, right? For example, when a woman gives birth, some people eat the placenta.
That's
not
not
a human.
But you're
cannibalism.
not eating.
That's
not a human.
that's a piece of human organ.
It is true. It is. But they
But that doesn't-
naturally expelled it. But if like somebody lost their arm, you would never think to actually just go ahead and eat that.
So placenta, yes. Arm, no.
Is
That
it
is a
like
rare
living?
thing.
maybe that's a gray area.
maybe it's
Yeah,
Semi
Yeah,
cannibalism.
placenta is a rare thing.
well,
You
the
only
placenta
can
is
have a few
expelled
in your
from the
life.
body. It's not like you take a living part off of someone.
Yeah.
It's not like you always have a placenta. It's a rare thing.
It's not designed to, I guess, stay.
If you missed and ate
as
the
an
baby,
organ.
that's definitely cannibalism. Like accidentally tried to get the placenta and you
Or the
missed.
baby's placenta.
The word placenta.
We're getting
worst
Gavin's
word.
thing about being inside your
It is
grandmother.
weird though that when you grow a kid, you grow another organ as well.
Is it really that weird? Or is the weird part having a living thing growing inside of you?
Yeah, you're
I
right.
always wonder how people reconcile that, how women specifically reconcile the fact that they've got a living being inside their body. Like, I guess that's just something you adjust to over time. Like we were talking about before with the slow, like the teeth growing back into the brain. Is
Yeah.
it just because it's slower that it's easier? Like if you got pregnant and you were 9 months pregnant a day in, there'd be no adjustment period. Like
That'd
you.
be great though,
What do you mean?
because then it's over.
No, but he had to carry that
But then
for 9
all of a
months.
sudden you've got.
Oh.
Oh, so you're 9 months pregnant for 9 months.
You know, I said 9 months. I
would
said
be
9 months. It was
the
actually
worst.
10 months. That's like one of the biggest things about pregnancy that's like misunderstood.
Well, no.
Is that typical pregnancy is 40 weeks.
But that's not 10 months.
It is 10 months, isn't it?
If every day was 28, if every month was 28 days, it would be 10 months.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. So it's
like 9.
Is it a full 40 weeks?
because
though,
there's
from-
52 weeks in the year, not 48. It's not 4 weeks per month.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
It always seems like it was 10 months. I got 2 kids, and it took a long fucking time to get them out.
Must have been hard for you
But I always wondered this
to be
too.
pregnant.
I always wondered this too. It's like with the
Suffering so
animals that
hard.
get like a. You always hear about people clipping the 6-pack rings, you know,
Yeah.
because they're gonna end up in the water.
Yeah.
I always wonder why people were totally comfortable with that. It's like they're gonna cut the rings.
What?
You never heard this?
It's so fish don't get caught in the
And
ring.
turtles and stuff.
or turtles and whatnot, or
like
seals. I
In
always
the,
heard.
in the twat.
Yeah,
Yes.
in the,
bit,
in
yeah.
the circles, the
In the
plastic
twat
circles.
and the bit, yes.
They don't even have
The
those
thing of the
anymore.
thing.
When was the last time you saw a 6-pack that had that plastic ring on it?
Last night.
You have a plastic ring on your 6-pack?
I don't know. I guess it's been a while.
But if you had
No, I
something
saw
like
some
that,
the other day.
Six-pack joke.
LaCroix.
LaCroix has that, okay. Like if a seal gets that over its neck and then it can't get it back out.
Stupid seal.
Like what is
Natural
that
selection.
process of slowly growing that with that thing around your neck and like growing around it? Or you see the turtle with it
Yeah.
pinching
Yeah,
in the middle.
there was a turtle who, like, as a young tortoise, had one of those things around its
Tortoise had a
shell.
toe.
Shut the fuck up. And then like
Not
its
my
shell
pregnant.
grew around it, and it just looks weird now.
It had
like-
a great waistline. That turtle was slim. You could fit into corsets, no
But would
problem.
that be, is that painful? Or does the tortoise even have any idea that it's pinched in the middle like that?
If it's the
Like,
shell,
I assume
then
its
imagine.
organs are all jumbled and
but
out
does
of
it
place,
know?
right?
I mean, does it like, is it painful for it? And I wonder, it's weird when they cut it off, is it something like, ow? Like all of a sudden it's like there's, the thing that was supporting it for a long time is now gone.
Well, when a woman is pregnant, do the organs have to move, or is it just frontally expanding? Like when you get the kid out and then stand up, does everything just go like back to where it was?
I know the boobs do.
I'm pretty sure it's guts and then uterus. So everything goes like that a little bit.
So it does shift
bit.
a bit.
Doesn't it like
Shifts
push
a
up on
bit.
the bladder? That's why they got to pee all the time.
What's that?
Like the baby
There's
pushes
less
up
room.
on the bladder.
There's
But
less
when
room.
you say about how it's weird about having something living inside you, is that just because it's moving that it's weird?
No, I think having another like.
Because you could tell me my heart was a dude that was moving, and I would believe it.
What's that?
My heart's a dude.
Well, like my heart moves inside me.
I've got
You
a big
ever
heart.
get creeped out by that kind of thing? Your own organs or anything?
I did a couple weeks ago when you guys started talking about it.
What?
When I told
just-
you, I told you you couldn't stop your heart.
You couldn't stop
Yeah.
your heart and you couldn't stop breathing.
When you
Like,
really
without-
like think about it too much, and it's like
You can
Your
hold your
heart.
breath and slow your heart way down. It's cool. Have you ever done it?
Yeah.
When I had a girlfriend and she would like put her head on me, and I would just stop
Forever
breathing,
alone.
and she would freak out when my heart would be like. Dum, 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 dum.
What's the lowest you've ever had your heart rate recorded?
Probably like 10 beats a minute or something.
No, you're full.
You are full of shit.
Once
10
every
beats a
6
minute?
seconds, your heartbeat. You know, Lance Armstrong, his resting heart rate was, I think, 32, which is once every 2 seconds it would be.
Was that juiced or unjuiced?
It's juiced. I mean, is there another version of Lance Armstrong? I don't know. He freely admitted all that stuff at this point, right?
Yeah, finally.
he's like
Yeah.
50% steroids.
Why do you do
at
that?
this point.
I think they finally had irrefutable evidence, and he couldn't get out of it. I think he had finally been caught and put into a corner.
All that shit. Listen, I don't would say I don't really care if people do that stuff. It doesn't bug me. I get that they're professional athletes or whatever, but people want to see the current athletes break all the old records. You know what I mean? It's just like
I'd like to. I'm okay with it if it was a separate category. Like you had your normal Olympics and your steroid Olympics.
nobody,
is
to be
it?
honest
Nobody
with
watched
you,
the regular Olympics,
nobody would
though.
watch the regular Olympics. It's true.
No, that's like saying nobody watches the Special Olympics.
Yeah,
You have people on steroids.
nobody does.
You're gonna
What
watch
if there were
for
Special
another
Olympics
reason.
and the Special Steroid Olympics?
That would be amazing. Wheelchair tennis would be insane.
Because then there would be the juiced Olympics, the Special Olympics, and then the regular Olympics. It seems like the regular Olympics would be the lamest of all of them.
Yeah.
It's
It's like the organic Olympics is what it would be.
It's like when you
Yeah.
go shopping for orange juice and there's too many different types. There's like organic and then there's omega-3 and all
I-
that.
There's
I
some
still
pulp,
love-
no pulp.
that in the UK they call pulp bits.
Yeah,
I love that.
No bits.
That makes me laugh so hard.
Do you like pulp in your juice?
Sure, I don't care. Yeah.
You don't care?
No, I
What
don't
about
care.
you?
I used to hate it, but now I love it.
I can deal with it. It's fine.
The debate over pulp and no pulp, by the way, completely pulpless. That's the way orange juice should be. The debate though goes right out the window
out.
because you like pulp in yours.
Pulp for life.
Except for at the bottom,
Pulp.
and then it gets kind of like
No, pulp.
It's like you're
Pulp
drinking
for life.
sludge.
Someone should write a story about this and call it Pulp Fiction.
Just shut the fuck up.
Should be
The,
nonfiction, idiot.
Did you know what will always throw you off though with the orange juice debate? Is that pulp or no pulp doesn't matter, because occasionally you run into people who put ice in their orange juice. Do you put ice in your orange
No,
juice?
fuck no. Fuck that.
That is like
that's a sin against humanity.
Why do
That's
people do
iced
that?
milk.
You're
They
like
do
watering it
nothing.
down.
What?
The whole point of orange juice is that it's like thick and juicy, and when you put ice in it, it just dilutes it.
There you go.
Very good.
Words from
Pulp
Barbara right
nonfiction,
there.
straight from Barbara. Are you okay?
That was really funny.
You're literally crying over there.
I know.
No, I love pulp. I'm not afraid to say it. I'll go
I
on
mean, I
record.
don't, I
It's a
don't
nice
mind
little
either
thing
way.
that, you
I'll
know,
drink either one. I don't give a shit.
It's a nice thing to have in your orange juice. It
Yeah.
makes it more entertaining.
It's like when people like jam that has like bits of fruit in it.
Fuck jam. Are there any other
Now you've lost him.
Are there any other beverages that have like bits or pulp or like a textured something in
Lemonade.
them? I guess some lemonade does.
Lemonade has-
I can tell you, every now and then I get like kind of
Goldschlager.
freaked out by ice water because it's weird to drink the liquid form of something with the solid form in it. It's like that's two states of the same thing altogether. And you don't really do that with anything else.
Yeah, like if you had a
what
glass of Coke, why wouldn't you freeze Coke and get Coke ice cubes for
Get
it?
Coke ice.
Coke ice cubes.
That way it doesn't water it down.
Yeah.
Or orange
It
juice
coats
ice.
it up even.
It would make sense with vodka.
What's the freezing point of vodka though?
Oh, it's so
lower.
low that
It's-
it would be
yeah.
really good ice. It would really keep your drink
I've never
cool.
seen frozen vodka. Vodka gets so cold it's
Vodka
turned into
ice cube
sludge.
sounds amazing.
Yeah. You probably put one in your mouth, it would just freeze your tongue.
Get you drunk like
Put it in
2
a
seconds.
drink. Put it
I
in
got,
like
I
a
gotta
drink.
look up the freezing point of vodka.
You know, we used to have dry ice at parties in college, and people would put it in their drinks, and then people would breathe in the.
Is that good for you?
No, the problem with it is that you know how when you use dry ice, and you put it in water and it makes that smoke, but the smoke goes like this,
Yeah.
and it goes down like cascades off the table. It's because it's more dense than air. So the problem with it is it won't harm you chemically, like by breathing it in, but it'll harm you physically in the sense that it'll lay down in your lungs and you can't get it out.
Right.
So it's like it fills up your lungs with essentially inert gas, and then you can't get rid of it. You have to tip yourself upside down.
Is that real?
Pour it out.
You
That
see-
makes
It's
me
one of the
feel
dangers of it,
really
yeah.
uneasy.
Isn't that also like, you know, people will inhale helium to get a high voice, but what's the other one? Sulfur.
Yeah, the low one.
Fluoride or some shit?
Yeah.
That's the same thing, right?
And it
If you
just
inhale
takes
it.
up your entire lung capacity.
That's
So-
actually far more dense. That's actually much more dangerous.
I saw that on a late night talk show. They filled an aquarium thing with that gas, and they had people like lean in and take a breath.
Sulfur hexafluoride? I don't remember. I'm trying to guess. Yeah.
Nerd. I'm just kidding.
Is that the one they float a paper boat on?
Yeah, and they would take a breath and it would sound
Did you
like
see? I saw a
really-
video a couple months ago. I guess there was this party. By the way, the freezing point of vodka, before you get away from it, is negative 16.5 degrees Fahrenheit.
So what's that in Celsius?
Like negative 26, it said?
Yeah,
Negative
so you'll
27. There was a party in Mexico where I guess the party organizers had got a bunch of dry ice
I thought the same story.
and thrown it into the pool while people were swimming in the pool.
Oh my god.
And then people started being unable to breathe because their lungs were filled with the carbon dioxide,
Carbon dioxide, yeah.
and they couldn't get out of the pool. And since it was foggy and smoky, no one could see that they were all drowning and
my
unable to
God.
breathe.
Did they?
I think some people died. Yeah, and then like
I want to say
video of
5
it.
people died.
Yeah, and then people would jump in to try to help them.
Way.
Then they'd be unable to breathe. It was like
In the
this.
cycle of
Yeah, it was this
people
huge perpetuating
Why did they just blow it
problem.
off the surface?
Because they didn't have a fan. Like no one was ready for it.
Yeah, it was like
Everyone's
at
just
night.
going,
There's like
Fan.
there was terrible because everyone's like fine, everyone's having a good time, and then like slowly you realize that there's no more noise coming from the
Yeah.
pool.
Oh, it was a sponsored party. It was Jägermeister's pool party. It was June 19th, 2013.
how many people died?
I don't think
There's a YouTube video of it.
I don't think it was that many. I think
people
it was a
passing out.
couple though.
Holy shit.
It's all in either. Where is this? It's in Mexico, so it's all Spanish. Looks
What's
like
the
looks like
worst
Portuguese.
death you've ever heard of?
Worst. Oh, there's the. How did they find a picture of it?
Oh,
Wow, that was fast.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, so there's
Oh,
the
that's
pool,
tragic.
and they're trying to pull someone out. You can see there on the
that's
right
pretty
side.
terrifying.
Oh, it's like Miles.
It
That's
does.
racist.
No, but it does.
Here, I'm going to read this thing right here. I want to remind everyone, this episode of the Rooster Teeth podcast is brought to you by Hulu Plus. They also have the entire Criterion collection on Hulu Plus.
Really?
Yeah.
That's pretty serious. There's a lot of great movies in Criterion.
Yeah, so Criterion collection is like, I don't know if do they still make the Criterion
I
collection?
was about to ask you if they do as well.
For a long time, it was like very critically acclaimed movies that were released in like special edition DVDs that were.
They would also select weird stuff sometimes, but it was like the ultimate edition was the
I
Criterion
watched
collection.
a weird show on Hulu Plus yesterday. It's called Clown. It's a Danish show. It's all in Danish and it's got subtitles.
That's your first clue.
It's basically Curb Your Enthusiasm with Danish people.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
the same premise of like this guy who's a semi-retired comedian who's like was on a show that everyone liked and everyone recognizes him, but he's like a total asshole.
Is it all improv?
I don't know. It's weird because
hard to
I
tell.
don't know who. Yeah, I don't know that these people are
How
famous.
did you find it?
It was just I saw a commercial for it in Hulu Plus, so I was like, I'll check it out. It looked pretty funny, but I'm just like, then I realized it was just Curb Your Enthusiasm with a Danish guy.
Speaking of Curb Your Enthusiasm, have you seen the HBO movie Clear History with Larry David?
No.
No.
I think it came out like 2 weeks ago. It was really weird to me. I don't know what I expected from it. I'd only seen a couple of promos for it, but it's essentially the exact same. Larry David plays Larry David. It's just Curb Your Enthusiasm, but he plays a character with a different name.
Yeah.
Is that all he can do?
It's
That and
like-
right Seinfeld.
He was in a Woody Allen movie where he was essentially himself as well.
Well, I think he knows his limits. I mean, that's what he does. That's why he didn't play George in Seinfeld. That's why. What's his name?
Jason
Alexander
Alexander
did. Yeah.
Yeah, Clear History, he plays an executive at a startup electric car company who has a disagreement with the founder.
Yeah.
And leaves before they launch their first product. And he gets, so he loses his share in the company, which would have been worth billions of dollars because it takes off.
Oh wow.
And he goes and like changes his life, and then anyway,
Is it a comedy?
yeah.
Sounds hilarious. It's all about stock
It's a
options. Unrealized
That's
stock
good. I like
options.
Larry David, so it was good.
Yeah,
stuff
I
seeing
like
stuff.
Larry David too. I mean, it is kind
I
of
can
tough.
tell from your voice.
No, it's kind of tough. It's kind of tough to. I mean, I really enjoyed Seinfeld, and that show lasted what 10 years, and then.
Didn't you go to the Geeks Who Drink for Seinfeld?
No, I missed that one. I wanted to go to that one. Yeah.
We should go to the Breaking Bad one.
Albuquerque.
That's another guy. One of the main characters of Breaking Bad was a guy who had stock options and was forced out of a company.
All right, yeah.
And lost all of his stock options. Hey, speaking of which, when we were in LA, Gavin and I and Ashley, we went and test drove a Tesla car. And I didn't know what any of us expected, but it was pretty fucking cool.
And this is what I've found out. You haven't bought one yet.
Yeah, I
is
haven't.
weird.
Well, here's the deal:
Neither of
is
you.
that they're very, very cool cars, but they're not available in Texas. You cannot buy one.
Right.
You have to.
There's like a ban against it.
Yeah, well, Texas is a petroleum state,
Yeah.
and so every
also-
now and then Texas does stupid stuff. and
Also,
this is
the
one of dumb
National
things.
Auto Dealer Association is suing Tesla
Why?
because Tesla sells direct to consumer and they don't go through a dealership network.
How are they
Sounds
getting
awesome.
pictures so fast?
Yeah,
Oh,
they're
wow, that's
psychic
nice.
spectrum.
What is the range on a Tesla?
So, there's people have range anxiety. The guy identified that they get freaked out about the range of it.
Yeah.
And the one we were test driving was 240 miles,
That's pretty
right?
Yeah.
But the real deal is how fast does it charge?
Yeah.
And you can plug it into a normal, in America, it's a 120 volt outlet. That gets you 4 miles every hour. Was that right? This is all
Yeah,
working from memory. I'm sure it's on
That
the
was
Tesla
really
site.
slow, but you're not meant to. That was like a backup. kind
Yeah, that's
of
like
charge.
100. That's like nothing.
Yeah.
No, then they like dual chargers and everything else. And then what was the? Do you remember, Ash, what the fastest rate was?
The supercharger
Yeah,
will fill you up in an hour.
an hour fills it up in an hour.
That's pretty good.
That seems. Was there one that did the whole thing in an hour?
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, so that's the charger. That's the 100. The what is it? 110 volts, right?
Yeah, it looks like it's plugged in a normal wall
See, that's,
outlet there.
that one there. That's like the Roadster one, right? The little one.
Yeah,
I didn't
Are there
realize.
different Tesla models?
I didn't
Yeah.
realize they made like an actual decent car.
the Model S.
Yeah,
one
it
did you
looks
guys
really.
ride?
It looks like an Aston Martin kind of.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
And it's
He really
I
likes it
think
because it
they're
sounds
gonna-
like a starship when it's moving.
Yeah.
They're gonna have an SUV soon, I think.
Yeah, they are.
Really?
The most ridiculous thing is you get in and there's a 17-inch screen.
That's
as
the
the
craziest
dashboard.
thing.
It's just like a big TV.
Is it like a heads-up display?
And it's everything.
It's
like a
literally like
giant
this.
iPad.
It's like when you get in,
Yeah.
on the dashboard is a display this big, and you're just like that big, and it's down there, and you can tap everything.
And it's so futuristic that they can send firmware updates and you update the car. But it's not just software stuff. They can update physical things that the car does.
Right.
For example, creep mode is
That's
something
cool.
that we learned about.
Yep.
Because in an automatic car, when you go off the brake, it creeps forward. They were saying. I don't drive.
Like you're in a stoplight, and
Yeah.
you get in front of the pedal. When you let off the brake, the car will creep forward like
Yeah.
But the
2 or 3 miles an
Tesla,
hour.
the Tesla doesn't do that, and it was making customers feel a bit weird when they would pull off the brake and literally
So
go
you can
nowhere. So they
engage
added
creep
like a
mode?
digital creep to the car, where like as you do that, it applies some sort of acceleration to make it mimic the creep that you get in a real car.
Yeah,
And
that's
it's
what
not
you
the exact same.
Real cars. That's funny.
That's a giant ass screen.
when you back
No,
out of
oh
a
yeah, that
spot,
whole thing is a screen, and in fact
really?
the tachometer and the speedometer, that's also a screen. There's no actual dials
It's all
or buttons on that
digital
thing.
interface.
It's entirely touchscreen digital interface.
That's nice.
And you can make it go like the top part was the map on there. You can make that go across the entire thing, or you can just split the different apps that you have on there.
That's pretty cool. That'd be a good car for like, just driving around the city or something.
It's better. I think it's better for city driving than it is for like long distance driving because the way it recharges. You have a hybrid.
Yeah.
It charges with the brakes.
Yeah. I put gas in it.
As well.
That is the thing. Is like I mean without any kind of like service. There is a service place in Austin, but without any kind of like sales place here, I just worry this like wouldn't be the level of help you would need on like, what is essentially an early adoption vehicle.
There is a sales place in the domain, just you can't buy a car there.
What?
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
So
You get all the information there.
Yeah.
So what do they do there? Just hand out.
They just have like
Leaflets.
cars in a room.
Yeah, it's in the domain.
So how do they
it's
hire
so
for that
weird.
thing? You're not a salesman. You're just a man. You're just a person who just stands in there
yeah,
and
you're
goes,
an information man.
maybe buy a car, maybe don't. It's up to you.
It's a Tesla. Goes to another state and buy it.
Yeah.
I can help you book a plane ticket right now.
I think you should
Louisiana,
early adopt.
that way.
I think you should go for it.
It was so cool. Why don't you do it?
Could you buy
You
it
have
in
no
Brooks,
I have a
Texas?
spare 90 grand or however much it was.
Oh my
But you have
Or
no
a license.
expenses.
Or I don't have a driver's license.
Why don't you get a driver's license?
Why don't you get a driver's license?
Can I
I will.
teach you to drive, Gavin?
How come you're upset? You're married to somebody who doesn't drive.
She got a driver's license.
Does she drive though?
Yeah, she's got a car.
She does. I didn't know that. I remember when you guys were first together. That's my together. You would drive her everywhere. Like she didn't like to
She's got a
drive.
car.
Is that the same car that you offered me to borrow because it gets driven so infrequently that the gas goes
Shut up,
bad?
you're ruining the story.
The gas went bad in his car.
I'm always worried about that because it doesn't get driven very much.
Is that a thing? It goes stale.
Yeah, gas can go bad.
Why don't you
Yeah.
drive the car occasionally?
I do.
Okay.
I'll bring it down
It's
here.
a-
When I first
it's a
moved
pickup
here-
truck. You've
It's a
never seen me
truck.
drive it?
No.
When I first moved here and I didn't have a car, Esther had offered her truck if I ever needed it because she was worried that the gas would go bad because it gets.
Esther
doesn't
drives a
get driven
truck
very
and
much.
you drive a Prius.
That's the exact vehicle she wanted. She wanted that truck.
You should
I
just
have
give
a
it a
hard time
slosh.
picturing you in a truck.
I grew up driving trucks.
If for some reason it makes me laugh. I think it's
I
because you
totally
have
see
girly
it, dude.
hands.
Yeah, I grew up like in the middle of fucking nowhere on ranches in the middle of
He was born in a truck.
a desert
I
in
found
Texas.
something out today.
Oh,
What's
yeah,
that?
I was
About
conceived
Gus.
in a truck.
Were you?
What did you find out about Gus?
I found out that Gus had a stalker in high school
Oh yeah. I had a stalker in high school.
who would call him and play.
It was that Real McCoy song, "Another Night."
Oh yeah. Like,
Wait.
"Another
Just play it
night,
over
another
the-
dream."
Play it over the phone?
Yeah, she'd always have it like blasting in the background when she told me creepy things.
Did you know who it was?
No, never found out.
She would tell
Really?
you creepy things.
Yeah.
Like what?
I don't know, just like she would follow me, and like at first you're like, yeah, whatever. She'd be like, no, you were here with so and so and so and so, and you were wearing this. Like, how the fuck did you know that?
Why would you do this?
She was
You
in
never
love with
figured
him.
it out.
Never figured it out.
Did she make a play for the Gus?
She would call me for about 6 months, I think, and then just all of a sudden it stopped.
That's
wonder what she
crazy.
moved on.
Yeah,
Can't believe you never mentioned that before.
I can't believe I haven't either. No, it was really, really bizarre. Obviously,
And
anybody
that
who
woman
stalks
is
you is
Esther.
crazy.
Yeah.
And now you know the rest of the story. So I went I watched Breaking Bad at your place.
Yeah, you did.
Do not
And
spoil it.
you haven't seen it yet?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
Can I say before that, because you just said that, I was at the gym and I was talking to a guy there, and I was talking about last night's episode of Breaking Bad, and all I said was my opinion of the episode being a good or bad episode. That's all I said. And a guy nearby goes, whoa, what are you talking about? You talking about Breaking Bad? And I said, yes. He goes, don't talk about it. I haven't started watching that show yet. I'm like, okay, come on. It's a 5-year-old show at this point,
Seriously.
5.5 years old.
Don't say it's good. I haven't watched it yet.
How can you possibly say people aren't allowed to talk about something that you're not watching and that you're not?
He might want to watch it sometime.
At some point in his life, he might decide he wants to watch it. So please, everybody else, suspend your conversation. We've reached. It's too much now. It's too much officially. I'm declaring there's a line.
He should have a tattoo. Do not talk about Breaking Bad.
Can you
I
imagine?
haven't seen it yet.
Can you imagine like if you were out somewhere, or like you're at a conference, at like a astronomy conference, and two people start talking about like interstellar travel, like a lecture, and he's gonna do this. And so he goes, no, stop. He goes, I haven't learned this yet. Don't talk about it. I'm still studying chemistry. Please, everyone, just stop. It's like, why is like, we kind of talked about this in the patch. Why are we defaulting now, like in our conversations, to people who are ignorant and willfully ignorant of something? That don't tell me about it or don't let me learn about it because I want to protect it in case I decide I'm ever gonna fucking do it.
Or like in video game, like talk about sequels. Like, don't tell me about BioShock Infinite. I haven't played BioShock 1 yet.
Yeah. So, I'm gonna get around to it.
I'm gonna get around to that series one day.
Yeah.
Pretty soon we'll have no conversation. Nothing at all.
It's like you have to whitelist people you know of topics you know.
There'll be nothing left.
So I watched Breaking Bad at your place.
Yes, you did. Congratulations,
I
by the
felt
way.
guilty about something.
What'd you do?
He cleared his
When
throat.
the
It
first
was very
commercial
noisy.
break came up and you started fast forwarding it, it was fucking silent. And I got really self-conscious and I was like, nobody's talking because I'm here.
I thought the same thing. I thought the same thing. And I
was like-
thought, I'm gonna say something, but I'm not gonna say something because then Gus will get upset. I literally did that.
The exact same thing
And
that
it was like, this is really awkward. And Esther and I just kind of looked at each other. We were like, oh my God, this is my fault.
I got a text message in like the first act, and I was like, "This is behind me. I'm not gonna pull out my phone. I'm gonna wait till the commercial break to check my phone."
I heard Brandon was like trying to talk to me as the show was about to start, and I'm like, shut up.
You're gonna ruin it.
Here.
I felt so awful.
So I guess it was a great experience for you then.
Except a bug flew into my fucking face. It's always my problem with being outside.
There was a bug on the
That's my
screen as
problem
well.
with being outside.
Bugs fly into you. So I'm sitting there watching the show, and a bug flew right into my fucking glasses.
Well, you had glasses on.
Yeah, but what the fuck? Why wasn't it watching the show? and then of course, you had your sorbet cup that was filled with ants.
Oh, that's true.
Was that? I thought that was Ashley's cup.
Everybody.
There were multiple
Someone
cups.
else had a cup that was had a cockroach
There was a
in it.
cup with a roach in it.
Yep.
Outside is terrible.
Yep.
It's
You should just
disgusting.
bug bomb the spot where
There's
you
that
watch it next time.
giant spider. At
That
Burnie's patio.
spider was serious. That's like Legend of Zelda shit.
After I saw that, I'm like, I'm moving back to Canada. There's none of that shit there.
That was a massive spider.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
It was like this big.
But
The weird thing was, it
Burnie's
was-
like adopted it.
It was there in the doorway. And well, you don't like some bugs, you gotta like spiders if you don't like some of the bugs.
Yeah, spiders are great for that.
Yeah.
But it was huge.
It was there, and then we went away to LA for VidCon. And we came back, the spider was gone, and now suddenly it's back. I don't get how that works.
Maybe it went with you.
Spider goes in, spider goes out.
It goes to eat.
You can't explain that. You can't possibly.
I've been having issues with cockroaches non-stop.
Yeah? You live in a garage.
Yeah.
That's the
Did I
problem
tell
with
you?
that.
I might have told it last week, but I trapped one under a cup. Did I tell this?
You've told us a couple weeks
Yeah.
ago, and it was like it moved the cup.
It was walking around under the cup.
Yeah?
I woke up and the cup moved.
They're strong.
Oh, God.
I
Cup's
really
not gonna
don't
slow 'em
want
down.
to get
Not
on
strong
the
enough to
bugs.
lift up the cup, but strong enough to push it.
Could you, if there was a styrofoam cup or a plastic cup
But with me in it,
scaled to like be as big as that cockroach, you could push it.
I could probably lift it up.
So
too.
what would that be? That would be like, for us, like a solo cup the size of.
2 stories?
That would be bigger than that, wouldn't it?
How big's a story?
Like 10 feet?
10 feet is
Depends
what
who
I've
wrote
seen.
it.
Like compared to the cockroach, I would think like a 10-story building or something.
Do you think
A
our
10-story building.
Yeah.
They can't make a cup that big. So wait a minute. So
Real Gus.
But are you doing because is there?
Yeah,
are you
is it
doing,
length or?
are you doing the roaches if he's standing up on his hind legs and being measured?
Yeah,
then I would say
I was thinking height, but yeah, if he's standing on his
Yeah.
hind legs, then yeah, maybe 2 stories.
like perhaps leaning.
Do you think
Enjoying himself.
their arm strength is like is equal to human arm strength in comparison to our bodies?
They're probably much stronger.
Yeah, they're probably way.
You think so? I guess they have more legs and arms.
They do have more legs.
Yes. One time I found a tick in my house that was about the size of this bottle cap
Wow.
because it was so plump.
A
And
tick?
Yeah, it was gray.
Did you pop it?
Usually ticks are like brown. This one was gray, and I didn't know what it was at first because I couldn't even see its legs. It couldn't walk because it was so fat.
Where did it come
They had
from?
these
So
little-
that was engorged.
I think
it had
it-
feasted on you or someone.
I think
you
it fell off
wouldn't
one of
know.
my dogs and was like it was just in the living room on the floor. And I picked it up, I put it in a baggie, and like left it alone for a couple days, and it was slowly shrinking. And I was like, this is too gross, so I just finally smashed it.
The
That's
blood
not
everywhere.
gross at all. Yeah, they get
was gigantic.
enormous. Like if their head's like this big and they have a huge
Oh,
fat body.
It was so
Yeah.
big.
It's like
Why?
the chick from Oompa Loompa or from
And
Willy
then,
Wonka.
Yeah.
and then when you fucking squash them, it's a mess.
It's blood.
That's
It's
why
a
I had it
huge
contained. I
bloody
had
mess.
it in a baggie.
We had a huge tick problem when I was growing up out in Eagle Pass.
Really?
Yeah,
Better
you had to
than
be
a-
very diligent
Better
about
than
ticks.
a tarantula problem.
I had a tarantula problem too, which we
I usually
discussed.
you don't have to say tick problem. It's just you had
Yeah,
ticks.
ticks.
Yeah.
There's no like beneficial
It was a tick infestation. Let me put it that way. It was like
situation. Oh, we had a great experience with ticks when I was a kid.
Take experience.
So I've recently discovered that I can sleep on planes now if I use one of those eye masks. And then
my God.
What?
Really?
Why is that funny?
Do you
I
put,
want,
like,
I want you to get an eye mask with googly eyes. Paste it onto the
use
front.
an eye mask?
Dude, that thing is
You're one
top.
of those Nick
Do you put like a
poses.
green like exfoliating
No,
clay
it's just
mask
a black
onto?
thing that it's actually
Your
the
hair
one-
and curlers?
When we went to Japan, we got given a little bag, and it was
Yeah.
in there. So you probably have one if you kept that thing. But I wear this. The embarrassing thing is when I
Gavin, I
forget
throw
to,
away everything.
Yeah, I know. The embarrassing thing is when I forget to take it off and I'm walking around the airport with like an eye mask on the top of my head, which sucks. But what I was thinking is, I can't.
That's the embarrassing part.
He looks like such a prick.
No, I get it though, because I will say that like we don't get recognized. I don't get recognized a lot of places. Track record in airport. I don't know what is about airports.
Yeah.
That I guess your people are in a situation where they're seeing a bunch of faces they don't recognize, and then that way do you get spotted in airports a lot?
Non-stop.
I feel
No,
like
no, airports, yeah.
it's like I think it's like a central hub for like people who are just I don't know how to describe it.
Traveling?
I guess yeah, but people from other places.
People who are doing vertical flight.
What does that mean?
What I'm getting at is I've met most of the famous people I've encountered.
Had half a beer,
I've
Jordan.
been at airports.
I actually I saw Penn from Penn and Teller in the airport. So I was thinking, if you just got your eyelids tattooed black, like solid black, would that have the same effect?
Why wouldn't you just get plastic inserts that make them opaque?
Because then you've got to shove stuff in your eyes.
We get
It's
it.
much
As opposed to
Yeah,
getting
eyelids.
stabbed by a tattoo
Yeah.
thousands of times.
It
Or
wouldn't feel any different.
you could get a comfortable satin mask that covers your eyes too. That would also work. You carry that around.
If you could shut your eyes wherever you were, because at the moment
can.
I don't think it's.
I can't
I
write
don't
that
feel
watch.
like light is a problem. Penetrating here, I can close them. It's black. I go to sleep like this.
I
it's
think
not
it's this
black.
part.
It's not.
Yeah,
It's
it is.
red.
It's black. You want to look?
Eyelids. Why did eyelids evolve to be useless? I mean, they're
They're
good.
not useless.
You're supposed to use them at night.
What?
What do you mean? Already
What do
dark
you mean
outside.
what?
What? Let me ask you something. Evolutionary, from an evolutionary standpoint, what is more useful? Having completely black, opaque eyelids, so you can't see anything when you shut them, or when you shut them, you can detect changes in light if something gets close to you. It's probably a little better if you can detect when something is like moving right next to you.
Yeah, Gavin.
If something blocks the light, for instance.
Yeah.
Gavin through evolution. So Gavin falls asleep under a tree.
I would love to see a caveman Gavin.
It would be awesome. So let's say Caveman Gavin has been out eating
if
the
leg?
berries that other
Don't
people
know
have
leg.
very carefully picked all day.
Okay.
And then he decides he's going to sleep under a tree. He goes to sleep. Along comes, what would attack Gavin?
Saber-tooth tiger.
Pretty much anything.
A
So
cockroach.
Saber-tooth tiger. So the sun is there. You're sleeping peacefully. The saber-tooth tiger blocks your vision. Then you'll have the ability to wake up because that happened. You'll see that you'll detect the change. You wake up, and then because you're you would just call for someone else to solve the problem.
Yeah.
Be like, hey, help me. I can't do this. And then that person would come and get eaten.
I think,
can't be bothered.
honestly, I would rather have the solid black ones, because if something's close enough to be shadowing your eyelids, if it's a saber-toothed tiger, it's got me anyway.
It's not
And then-
shadowing,
Nah,
it's
you
moving
got
in the
shot.
distance.
Moving in the distance, so it stood on a cliff in front of the sun.
Maybe.
So it's a false alarm then. What do you mean?
It's like a space station.
If it's right here, I'm gonna wake up and crap myself, or if it just bites my leg while I'm asleep, it's the same effect.
If someone comes in and flicks the light on the room, you want that to wake you up, don't you?
just like in nature, when
That
a
wouldn't
tiger
happen to
comes
Caveman
in
Gavin, though.
and flicks on the light. In the
When it
cave.
moves the rock away from the mouth of the cave, you want to know that it happened. It's important.
I think it's a good idea. If it wasn't so weird looking, I would do it because I could sleep anywhere at any time.
I don't think it's just the black, though. I don't think that would do it.
Why?
It just doesn't seem like that would be enough.
Black doesn't absorb. It
Like, I
doesn't
can
reflect.
see if you get a black
Like, because
piece
your
of cloth.
skin is still thin enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if it's black, the light won't penetrate.
No, that's not true. You can look through a black shirt.
Yeah, but because there's holes in it. Is why.
Well,
you
that's just what we're saying, the thinness of
You
the
say-
material.
What do you mean?
Your
If you had
eyelids are
sheer-
thin.
If you had
It's not thinness. There's holes in a t-shirt. You put a microscope on a t-shirt, you'll see through the damn thing.
No,
'cause
I
it-
get
it's
that.
the stitches.
But if you had a solid sheer material that was black, you would be able to see through it.
I don't
Like
agree
a
with
thin
either of
plastic
these
film,
sides.
a thin
not
plastic
even
film
listening
that's
anymore.
black, you'd still be able to see through it.
Why? It's not black then. It's not true black then. Is it?
What does that mean? It's not black.
Well,
It's
why-
just so thin.
So you can have transparent black.
Also, your eyelids would get so hot. Think about that.
Also, a black tattoo isn't truly black.
I will pay for you to get a black eyelid tattoo.
You
Could you get the bottoms done too? You would.
Yeah. If you paint a light bulb black, you don't get a black light shining through. It's
Tell you
just
what,
nothing happens.
Easy solution for this. Go get the eye black that they use on football players that they put under their eyes and put that on your eyes.
I contend that that's way blacker and thicker than a tattoo would be.
No, I get it, but let's see if he likes it. Let's see what his eyes would look
I
like
have
if
some
he had
makeup in my bag right now.
fashion
Wait.
show.
Women wear eyeshadow, right?
Yes.
Yes,
Makeup.
We do.
They can see through. We can test this really easily.
Yeah.
I like how that's clarified.
Kara has
Makeup,
it. No,
not the
'cause-
actual shadow
sorry,
of your eyes.
It's because Kara's saying at the same time. She said she's got eyeshadow. You can test it right
Let's
now if
put
you want
some
to.
on you.
You want to wear some makeup?
Not really. I don't want to look like.
I think you volunteered.
So, Gav,
Yeah.
you can't fall asleep because you think it's the light mainly that blocks you?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I want to go back to Caveman Gavin.
So when you go to bed, do you turn off everything in your where you're sleeping? Everything has to be pitch black?
I make sure that whatever bedroom I have, I paint black so it's dark, and then
Really?
I turn all the lights off. Yeah.
You paint the walls black.
Or like dark
you gotta
grey.
do that every
Not
night?
not jet black, but.
Do you think a lot of light comes through the walls?
Reflections,
No, I get
guys.
it. I guess
Reflections.
Reflections.
If the walls are white and there's a street light or something, it's gonna light up the damn room, isn't it?
If the paint's high gloss, it's gonna reflect light anyway.
Yeah, what if it's matte?
Yeah.
Well, what's he doing in his room?
I get what you're saying. I mean, yeah,
I used to have
it'll be a darker room for
I used
sure.
to have a projector. I had to paint it black because it reflected all the light from the projector.
Although when you paint a room black, it gets so small. Your house
Doesn't
that you
it?
used to live in
Well,
with
look-
Jeff, you guys painted the hallway black.
I didn't do shit. I didn't do that. Someone else did that.
And then you would run into the doors at night.
That was not me.
They
I
had to
knew
put-
that was a bad idea.
They had to put pink stars on the doors. Wasn't that the
Yeah.
solution? Because you would be looking for the bathroom and you would just plow right into a doorway.
Over and over. It was the fucking worst. Don't ever do that.
Is that the darkest place you've ever been?
Underground's darker.
Deep space.
Yeah, I've never been in deep space, but I've been underground.
Underground is darker.
Did you ever go to like the Natural Bridge Caverns or anything just out here, like in New
No.
Braunfels? It's dark as shit down there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because they turn everything off as part of the tour.
Yeah, it's like you're you know really deep underground in these giant caves, and it's like all the lights are off. You're like, if this was my life right now, and I had to get out of here, I'd die down here. Like I walked down here with illuminated steps. They turn off the lights. You're like, I couldn't get out of here, even though I know where the stairs just were. I would
wouldn't
never get out
eventually
of here.
find your way out.
No.
Would
You ever
rather
lost
live-
your way underwater before?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
creepy
yeah.
as shit.
That's creepy. Yeah, your sense of up.
Yeah.
Sense of direction is one thing. Sense of up, you're not used to losing that. When you lose that, you're just lost in
how do you
space.
lose
Like
that?
when a wave
When a wave
takes
tumbles you.
Yeah,
When a wave
when
tumbles you,
tumble, don't
I know
know.
you're gonna say whichever way you float is the way. Your brain works a lot faster than like basic buoyancy, so it takes you a couple seconds to like refloat. Or if you're in turbulent water, you just literally don't know.
You're just like flailing.
I just started swimming. I swam into the sand.
I've done the exact same thing. Where
It's a weird feeling.
Where it's like you feel like you're pushing towards the surface and you hit the sand like, oh shit. Then you like have to
It's just-
flip and then you have to kick off of it. Like I hope
That's
I make it
crazy.
back up.
I'm getting short of breath thinking
I know.
about it.
It's pretty fucked up.
It's like running into a wall at night.
You know, we
Swimming into a wall.
we took the kids out for like the last night of summer. We had like this crazy weekend of like bike trips and park visits.
What,
and-
summer's over?
Yeah, they go back to school on Monday, man.
Suckers.
School summer.
It's
Not
a
even
bummer.
Real summer.
You did a dickhead tweet the other day.
You did a dick-headed tweet, Barbara.
You were like, oh, I feel
Dickhead
I'm glad I don't have to do school anymore, suckers.
Yeah.
Why is that a
hey,
dickhead tweet?
I fucking did my time.
It's rubbing it in for all the poor bastards
No.
that have said-
I
Fuck
did my
'em.
time.
What do you mean?
Fuck them. That's what they get for going to school.
It's true.
It is true.
That's true.
You have to go to school.
I never had to deal with that.
I
to a
did all the
point.
high school. I did 4 years of college. I fucking did it. Okay.
Yeah, but it was miserable, right? And if
Yeah,
someone
it
said that's
was.
you who you liked on the internet, you'd be like, oh.
Gavin, I
Rub
can
it
also
in.
tell you that I
Barbara
probably
hates me.
never worked as hard in all my years of school that I have on like film sets or like what you do. It's like it really is at the end of the day. Students complain a lot about how much their workload is. It's really
Oh,
not.
I mean, yeah. It's
Yeah,
easy.
it's like-
it just takes long.
It's because they
Will
don't.
you take 15 hours
you're
a
in
semester?
class 15 hours
Yeah.
a week. Oh,
Yeah.
brutal.
If you do
Brutal.
another 15 hours of homework, that's 30 hours.
Yeah, and
Right.
it's just like
it's not even a full-time job.
Yeah.
It's really not. And honestly, for most of my time, going all the way through and having basically 2 bachelor's degrees, if I'd have just gone to all my classes, that's essentially at the university level that I went to at public university, if you just attended all your classes, you probably would ace it just fine. All your courses.
So what's a full work week in hours? For
40.
40.
Yeah.
Typical in the U.S. is 40.
Do you know what I found out?
What's that?
The U.S. has no paid maternity leave.
Not
It's not
mandated by
mandatory.
law, no.
Oh, but the company can choose to.
Oh, yeah. Some companies have paternity leave.
We do, right?
I think we have maternity and paternity leave.
I think
sweet.
I think in the UK, I'm not 100% sure. I've never had a kid. I think it's like 28 weeks paid is the law.
I think in Canada.
28 weeks?
Yeah.
That's some bullshit.
Is that not right?
28 weeks a year? Over
No,
half a year.
No, when you have a kid.
Maternity leave.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not talking vacation.
So you get 7 months off to have a kid.
I think
Is
it's
it
over a
paid?
year in Canada.
Yeah, it's paid.
I think it's 54 weeks in Canada.
There's all different levels. Also in the U.S., they
Gus,
can
would
give
you have a kid?
Let me do an internet.
Maybe.
Also in the U.S., they
Oh,
can
you
give you
gotta try to
maternity
teach you.
leave, and maternity leave. Thank you. Oh, blocked. Maternity leave means that you can leave your position and that you're guaranteed to get your position when you come back. In some places, it's all different levels because it's not mandated by law. Obamacare might have something in it. The new Obama healthcare package.
Does it? Okay.
It might, but I would think I would be aware of that.
As a small business owner?
As a small business owner, I would be aware of it.
What is a small business? Are we still a small business? We have like 60 employees now.
I think it's
We're
under
at 63 employees as of today.
It's under 100?
I'm pretty sure it's under 100.
I feel like that's
small business.
getting to be a pretty big business.
Yeah,
I think
but it's
small
still
businesses
considered
are
small
determined-
in the
Yeah.
grand scheme of things.
Yeah, we're no fucking multinational,
Microsoft or whatever.
multi-thousand.
Yeah, but it can't be relative like that because there's always a bigger business. You
I don't know.
I mean, Apple could say we're a small business.
You know, we do
because
have the ability to find out.
If there's a
I'm
fucking tax
looking
break
up.
for it, I'm sure Apple would.
A small business is a business that is privately owned and operated. That's we're privately owned. And with a small number of employees. This is a circular definition. I hate that. It's 50 employees according to the definition by the European Union, and fewer than 500 employees to qualify from any U.S. thing. So 500 in the U.S. is
That's
the
a huge
line.
difference. 50 to 500?
Yeah.
That's a tenfold difference between Europe and the
Well,
US.
you're also comparing the U.S. that is like notorious for its giant businesses.
Yeah, but
So the tech support company we worked at when I left was about 450 people.
wow.
And so it was not yet above the small business level.
Man, I remember when I started there, a shift was 3 people.
When I started, there were 16 people total in the company. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like me and 2 other people. One day my car broke down on the way to work, so my manager came and picked me up from the side of the road so that we would have our 3 people for the shift.
Wow.
You know, you could say the same thing when you started here too. When you started here, it was like a shift was what, 2 people, or 3 people.
Yeah.
You have, I mean, for all the different departments you run now, it's like there was just you. It was just all those slash jobs that you had, and now there's like 5 or 6 different departments with had like 2 or 3 people each in them.
Yeah, or there's like people dedicated to one specific aspect of a job I used to do. Like we have,
Tell me about.
yeah, Adam running the website and all that technology, and then other Adam doing all like the desktop support stuff.
Do you think that makes you sympathetic to their problems, the fact that you did the job, or more like unsympathetic? To
I
their
really go
problems?
back and forth on it. Like, I used to do both of your jobs.
Tell me more about being dedicated to your one thing that you do 40 hours a week. Tell me more about that.
So,
It
yeah,
does
it's-
become a
it's-
little,
it's
yeah,
tough.
sometimes.
Here, let me read this thing.
Go ahead and read.
I want to remind everyone, this episode of the Rooster Teeth podcast is brought to you by, I wear a lot of their stuff pretty frequently. Most recently, I was wearing the Assassin's Creed polo shirt.
I like
they
that
sent
shirt.
us.
Oh man, a lot of people asked about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they also have some Street Fighter leggings or some Street Fighter tights.
Oh, who is it that was wearing those recently?
I think Lindsay has some.
And they have fucking one character right on the crotch.
It's Ken. It's like right on, no,
Is
it's
it
on
Ken?
the butthole. He's like doing the Hadouken, or no, the Dragon Punch.
Punch in the corner.
Yeah. And
Fist.
his mouth is like right where the butthole.
You know how
Cool.
What do you call the helicopter kick?
Hurricane kick, right?
Yeah, but what's the noise he makes for that?
A duck don't do that.
There's an Ego Raptor cartoon where it's like Blanca says, "Would anybody like some pound cake?" And then he jumps up doing the cake. He goes, "I'd like some pound cake."
I got you.
Yeah, it sounds like that.
I still remember to this day the first time I ever saw Street Fighter 2. I think we talked about this at the gold mine. Like, I was at my 6th grade graduation ceremony. By the way, graduation ceremonies for anyone
Sixth
not
grade?
graduating high school is bullshit.
So 6th grade was elementary school for you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That was me.
And
It's pretty untypical for Texas, though.
I practically grew up in Mexico. I mean,
All right,
for all
good
intents
point,
and
good
purposes. And
Me too, I guess.
Yeah, it was at. Do you remember Wyatt's? Wyatt's Cafeteria. It was like a Luby's, but
I remember White's.
it was at Wyatt's
There's
Cafeteria.
a place called Luby's.
There still is a place
You
called
never been
Luby's.
to Luby's?
Isn't that where a
No.
lot of
See,
people?
I never heard of Luby's either.
I've heard of Mr.
And
Lube.
Didn't a lot of people die?
Yes, Luby's is why you can carry a concealed handgun in Texas.
I like that. I've heard of
A guy
Luby's.
drove his car into the front of a Luby's, got out. This is in Waco. Got out
Killeen.
and started shooting people.
Wasn't it Killeen?
Was it Killeen?
I think it's
Waco.
Killeen.
It was just north of Austin.
Wow.
How
so-
long ago was that?
Do you differentiate between Waco and Killeen? I guess I don't.
Yeah, it was like 91.
I just associate that as like being in the window of insane Waco incidents.
That's why a lot of Luby's now. I know this seems dumb. A lot of Luby's have like
What is
barriers on the
Luby's?
front. It's a cafeteria style restaurant,
I hear
Okay.
it's terrible.
and it's all right.
Is it better than Denny's?
Oh, it's way better than Denny's. But it's different. Denny's is like a diner.
Nobody goes. The cafeterias don't exist anymore.
Denny's
like you would
sucks.
never go.
Yeah, using that word to describe something that's not in a high school is weird.
Yeah, it's usually in some kind of institution
Yeah.
you have a
Yeah.
cafeteria. But there was like cafeterias that you would go to just to.
Yeah, like did Furs go out of business? Furs
yeah,
Cafeteria?
yeah, Furs the one that's over here. It's one of the buildings we looked at moving into, but having to renovate anything that was a restaurant and like, what do you do with the kitchen? And it's just like you don't want to mess with it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you, one of the grossest things to have to deal with on an environmental basis is a grease trap. Those things are just like they're like toxic waste essentially. And so if you have to get rid of one, it's tough to either put one in or take one out.
Well, because of all the oil and
It's
stuff.
those regulations about like getting it out of there and everything. It's just gross, so freaking.
Plus, I'm sure it's a fire hazard. All that built up like residue, all that grease.
Just
and
turn it into a
whatnot.
candle.
Turn it into a candle. That'd be the most explosive fucking candle in the world. It's not wax.
I don't know if it goes solid.
It's grease.
You know, we went to one of the times we went to Amsterdam. I think you were with me.
Stufen.
Badestoof. We ran into something I'd always wanted to go to. We ran into an automat. You ever eaten at an automat? Do you know what that is?
Yes, I did once.
It's the old. I think maybe you were with me at Amsterdam. Did you go to Amsterdam?
I did it in Tokyo.
Oh, yeah. So it's one of those places you go. They were huge in the 50s. They were like little doors that you'd pay to open the door, and the food would be in there. And it's like a wall of these little doors.
What, it's just a gamble?
No, you can see it's a little glass window. You're like,
What's
that cherry
behind
pie looks
door
good. Let me
number
put
one?
$1 in there and
There
open
we
up
go.
the door.
There we go. That's an automat.
How the fuck are they finding these pictures so fast?
I think that's the one we were in, for
Dude,
crying out
Google.
loud.
Is that one in Stufen?
Yeah.
And she looks familiar. Was I with you when you did
It's a
that?
kip burger. Yeah, oh look,
So it's all
see, there's the. Don't take the picture down. On the left-hand column, second to left, like halfway down, there's like a hot dog looking thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's that. It's like I don't know how to describe it.
Housewurst?
No,
This is a spaceship
it's like
in
a
the middle.
fried pocket of gravy. That's
What?
it. It's like a fried. I'm gonna look this
Is
up.
it brown
now.
gravy or white gravy?
Brown gravy.
Ooh, it sounds good.
It's really.
Go on.
Yeah, it was
Gravy
tremendous.
stick.
What is that thing called? It's
Gravy
a Dutch
stick.
thing.
So
I'm gonna call it gravy stick. I think it's a
I
good
imagine
name.
it's called like a Stufen.
Stufengard.
A Schmorgenhecken
You
guard?
guys
Morgan
see that
Hicken.
thing? I think it was on Reddit. It's like a vending machine, but for pizza, where you could choose your
Go on.
toppings and
What?
it'll bake it in the vending machine.
Well, so it's like an automated pizza maker.
This sounds
Yeah.
terrible.
Yeah.
That shit sounds
it
pretty
will
good.
bake the pizza.
If it's
It's an
that
interesting
fresh.
concept, but I doubt it's good.
You got to put the human touch onto the pizza.
What about a human touch is good for
Machines
pizza?
Machines can't make
It's like like you're feeling the thickness of the dough and
But a robot could do that even
You're grossing me
better.
out.
no. I get grossed out by a lot of things, but there's got to be a human doing it.
Does it have little arms that go
Maybe
like,
there's like
hey?
a tiny little chef
What if he's
in
got
there
really
who's
long
like,
fingernails and he's making a pizza?
That's gross. You can't have long fingernails because when you toss it, then it like punches right through.
that's how you
There's like
perforate the dough.
5 holes in the
Yeah.
pizza.
Here's
It's
your
not
pizza.
this, but they have something called deep fried gravy, which is. so
Let me guess. That's
festival.
at a state fair in the Midwest
You should
somewhere.
be able
Yeah.
to
No,
deep
it's a
fry a
Dutch thing.
liquid.
It's bitter balling.
I was always
sounds made
confused
up.
by deep fried ice
Bitter
cream.
ballin'.
That's all.
Yeah, I was mad at that bitch, so we went bitter ballin'.
It's a. I want to say it's like a crock something. Dutch
The shoes.
Croak?
croak.
Croque mignon.
A croquette.
It's not a
Monsieur.
croquette.
Yeah, I think it's a croquette.
A croquette is just fucking a
Oh, it's
gravy
a bitter
pocket?
ballin'. Bitter ballin'. Yeah, it's fried gravy.
Bitter ball.
Bit of ballin'.
Bitter ballin'.
Do it. Do the accent.
Bitter ballin'.
We Hello, Gavin. Let's go to the Badestoof. It's a bitter ballin'. That's it. It's the wine
All you
you
gotta
get.
do is
It's a
sound
bitter
like
ballin'.
you're crying. and
yeah.
like-
I go to the automat and have bitter schnapps. Well, we
Anybody
got
watching
like,
this
man,
We are losing our
offended.
Danish viewers as we speak. It's just going down.
Danish, they're Dutch,
Oh.
dipshit. It's
He said
Amsterdam.
Danish?
No, I said. Why did you say Danish?
You did.
He said that
He-
show
he was talking about
I
Danish.
was
She's
sure that
watching-
was
oh,
Danish.
She was talking about
Danes.
Larry David.
I went to. Yeah, I watched Larry David.
Never
Man,
collapsed. series.
When we got back from Amsterdam, that was the only way I would talk to Gavin for like a month.
Even on AIM, it would be.
Hello, Gavin.
It would,
Want to go to Amsterdam? Go to Amsterdam?
Stufenheim.
I really, of all the places we've traveled, I would love to go back there again. We always had a great time in Amsterdam.
I
You ever go to the red light
It's
district?
so,
We sat in this one bar called Cafe Bar de Stoof, which is the bar of stuff.
you know what that means? I translated what it meant. Real letdown.
What was it?
It's in the Stoof district. It really is.
No, what are you talking about?
It was. It was
Bar de
it's at the corner of Bar and Stoof.
What does it mean?
Do you know what stoof means?
No.
Stove. It was like stove bar or something.
Nah, like stuff.
That's like that one hot dog
saying.
restaurant in LA that's called like Wurstküche,
Yeah.
and it's just like when you translate it, it just means like hot dog kitchen.
That's it.
Like,
Just
not that cool.
come eat sausages.
Yeah,
But
come eat food.
Bar de Stoof
Bar de
had
Stoof.
this like lower bit, like a basement bit, where your head was just poking out the right window, and it had the best view of all the best looking whores.
Nice.
So I recommend it. Thumbs up.
Now there are prostitutes.
Did you guys go to the red light
It's
district?
legalized. Yeah, that's
it's-
where we were.
That's in the red light district.
Oh.
Yeah.
You can see the red lights in the windows.
And so we go and sit and just people watch.
Yeah.
Is what we
You,
did.
you watch a lot of people's vaginas and a lot of,
I think we added the cafe. I think we added the bar because I see Cafe de Stoof
Cafe de
everywhere.
No, it's definitely Cafe Bar de Stoof. I have a picture.
Bar de
Oh,
Stoof.
Cafe Bar de Stoof.
is that it?
I see. Wait. I don't know if you can tell.
Finding this stuff.
I don't know if you can tell, but where all those people are stood, there's actually a window by their legs,
Where
and if
their
there's no one,
Yeah, that window down there.
if there's no one stood there, you can see the whores perfectly.
And this is taken across the canal, so that's actually a body of water between us and
Yeah.
those people.
Did the girls next door have the right stoof?
That the body Stoof.
That's
And
pretty
there's-
good.
We were bought from the Stoof.
There's
The right
people,
Stoof.
there's people walking up and down, and they'll be like, crack, crack, you want crack?
Just saying.
My favorite is they
crack.
go, Coca, Coca, Coca.
Yeah, you're being propositioned constantly while you're there for either
I had no
drugs
idea
or
what was
sex.
legal or illegal constantly.
Yeah.
When people were like, Coca, Coca, like, is that legal? Ecstasy, ecstasy, ecstasy. Like, are you just trying to sell me ecstasy?
They, I think everything now is pretty much illegal for tourists.
I don't think they did that.
I think they repealed that.
No, I think it's illegal, but it's unenforced.
Okay.
so
it's
illegal
illegal.
then.
Yeah. What did we recently that
What do you have to arrest
if people
yourself?
is it the UK? No, but I think
They
it's
probably
in
use it
case,
as an excuse if they need to.
in case somebody fucks up. They're like,
Yeah.
well, this is illegal and you're boned. Yeah. Yeah, it's true.
In your boat.
You're boned.
And you're
We're
boned.
gonna throw you under the jail.
It's like if they're looking for an excuse to get you off the street.
Oh.
It's like, that's illegal. Come on.
Gavin had never heard the phrase "under the jail." I'm gonna put him under the jail.
I've never heard that phrase.
Really?
Me neither.
I guess it's an old school
Where did I
phrase.
hear that?
Right now, about 10 seconds ago.
You heard it on a popular TV show that we watched last
Yes.
week.
So wait, that's a
Then it's
popular
gonna put 'em
phrase.
under it.
Under
thought
the
it was
jail? Yeah, I definitely have
I
heard
thought
that
it was
before.
just being
badassery.
ultimately threatening.
It is ultimately threatening. It's like you're not
Yeah.
going to be in the jail. You're going to be under the jail.
I just thought he was like really
And as
into
we
the
know
moment and fumbled his words.
So what does it mean? Under the
I just
jail.
assumed it's like either like it's really bad imprisonment, like the dark, deep place under the
Like
jail,
solitary?
or buried under the jail.
And
it's
as we
really
learned
bad.
earlier, it's really dark underground.
It is dark underground.
We established that, yeah.
Because the earth is black and the sun doesn't get through it.
When you were talking about that, you reminded me of something though, and it kind of ties together a conversation we were having earlier about Barbara right before we went on the air took a swallow of her water, and it was this noise. It's like most of the time when you drink water, it's like sip, because Barbara's dainty and she does that. This time it was like this. Click, gack. I don't even know what
It was like,
I wasn't looking. I was looking at the iPad and I heard the noise. I was like, what was that?
it sounded like a bug.
I
all
was,
kinda looked at her.
I was swallowing, and sometimes when I drink carbonated drinks, I hiccup a lot. So I took a drink as I was hiccuping at the same time.
It was like, it sounded metallic. It was like something went gank, and then the thing that caught went, yeah, it was
That's the
died.
day we learned Barbara was a robot.
It was like a bear trap in her throat for
You
physical.
thought I farted.
It sounded like a gun.
I mean, this is reminding me of another story that happened today, but first I'll tell the thing. Do we ever talk about the quietest room in the world? Did we ever talk about that?
The one
Yeah,
that
I
sends
think
people
so, yeah.
crazy.
Was it
Yeah.
your backyard
where you
when
can hear the blood.
Yeah, Gus watches Breaking
Put an
Bad.
episode of Breaking Bad and Gus in the room. It turns like insane-inducing quiet.
It's a normal room. All it has is Gus and AMC on a loop.
And then what was driving me crazy also is you were fast-forwarding the commercials at 1 speed instead of 2 speed. I was like, This is taking even longer. Like, this is extending the awkwardness.
1 speed, isn't
That
that
is
just playing with
torturing you.
It's like double speed instead of
It's
triple
like the
speed.
one
yeah.
fast forward out, like arrow.
He had the one arrow.
And I was like, please,
That's
fast forward
actually
faster.
like holdover anxiety from last week because I was fast forwarding, and we
Oh,
went.
you were just
Yeah,
so
we
we
were
were
always
like,
like,
into the
right.
And
episode.
everyone's like, stop,
5
stop, stop,
minutes
stop,
into
stop.
it.
And you're like, I
It
can't.
won't stop. And Gavin's like, Gavin stood up. He's like, come on. I thought Gavin was gonna walk out.
I can't deal with
You
it.
know when you're in a quiet room and it's so quiet that you can hear like noise, like high-pitched noise.
Yeah.
But what are you just hearing your own ear? What
So
are you hearing?
that's the problem with
Is
the
it-
quiet. There's a room. It's the quietest room in the world. They call it. I think it's like, I don't know. It's like the noise floor is so low, and there's no echo or anything there. And the people apparently can only spend 40 minutes in it, because like it's the record for spending time in this room because your own noises from your body drive you crazy. Like you can hear your blood, and you can hear your digestive
Oh, that's
system.
gross.
I would love to go in this room.
Me too.
It's supposed to
Did you
be.
actually?
Also,
And I would take my loud keyboard with me.
Oh, you're.
I could hear that thing from downstairs.
I can hear it.
The DOS
I
keyboard.
can hear it
Is
from
that
over
it?
here.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's.
yeah, that's the quietest room in the
It
world.
doesn't look very comfortable in there.
Don't bang.
I think
against
that's
the
I
wall.
don't think it's made for comfort, Gus.
That's probably really comfortable.
I thought it's wood.
Has the Guinness World Record is -9 decibels compared to the average quiet room.
Isn't that more quieter
is
than
30.
no sound?
Yeah, I guess it
have
absorbs sound.
negative sound?
I guess it absorbs sound.
Weird.
But that's
know.
less sound than you started with.
It's like you can take up to 9 decibels of sound and eliminate it.
Sounds
think
weird
you
though.
could,
Don't
like,
they measure
hear
it
your
like
heart?
negatively? Like
That's why your receivers. Well, we've talked about this before. Why do receivers have negative decibel levels?
I can't stand it. Also, look, whenever we do like anything with audio, whenever we record a podcast or record a Let's Play, all the sliders go up to 0 and then they go down from there. But I've never ever used a mixer where I didn't like push everything almost always to the top to be able
Yeah.
to hear people. Am I just crazy in that regard?
I'm the same way.
Like you guys when you
I guess
record,
it's if you can turn the gain up and then you can move your slider down.
I mean, if you record Michael, you just go down.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Like, yeah, even our old mixer, when I used to run audio on the podcast, it was like that. It was just max out the slider and then adjust like the gain so it's not all the way up.
Yeah. And we need to.
So you were talking, we derailed you.
Yeah, 45 minutes is the longest the guys ever.
I could
You said-
definitely do more than 45.
Really, you don't know. Michael
100%.
fucking ape shit.
45
Where
minutes
is
in
it?
that
Where is
room?
this room? Let's go to it.
Gus couldn't last 3 minutes.
Orfield
of fast-forwarding
Labs
a commercial
in
break.
Minneapolis.
Could you
I'll go.
sit in any
Let's
room?
do, let's do our
I
arcade
would do
recap
it.
then.
If you could set up a trip, I would go do that there. Like we could just sit in there, record the podcast, and see who could take it in this room the longest.
We could.
But it's
I
not the
would
same if
definitely
you're
do
there
that.
with other people, right? And talking?
Yeah,
We
it's-
could be
it's
on
more
opposite
the
sides and
craziness
whisper
of
to
being
each other.
alone.
Yeah.
What was that? I hear like who's chatting? That freaked me out a little bit.
So we derailed you. You said that it reminded you about something?
Oh
earlier today?
yeah, a terrible thing happened today. So I was driving Ashley somewhere. I was driving her to the gym, and then I was gonna drop her off, and then I was gonna come to work. And then I got a phone call. I had a conference call that nobody seemed to tell anyone else about, and I had to have this conference call. So I was like fumbling getting on the conference call, and we're going through Zilker Park, which is right by my house. It's this big, expansive park that's right in the middle of Austin. And we're driving through there, and I'm talking on the phone, which I shouldn't have been, and driving at the same time, and trying to get settled like where I can get it on my Bluetooth and get that set up, and I'm doing that. At the same time, I see in front of us a squirrel run out in front of in the road, and it runs out in front of the truck in front of us. And I just, because I was doing so much stuff and I didn't try to think about it, I go, look at that, look, look, look. And then she looks, and I pointed out to Ashley, watch that squirrel get hit by a car. It gets run over, and it's like, yeah, it was
By
really
your
bad.
car?
No, not my car, by the car like to the front of us and to the right. And it watched it get hit. And then she was a fucking wreck. I feel really bad. I'm sorry. Now I'm reminding her of it.
Is she in
I
tears
hate
right now?
squirrels.
I don't know why I did that. I literally just I pointed at it,
What
right?
if that was the
I hate
squirrel?
squirrels,
How
but
did
I
she
still
react?
feel bad when I see a dead squirrel in the street.
I felt so, and then I'm on this conference call going, "Are you okay? I'm so sorry. I don't know why I did that." I was just like, I knew it was even like, this is gonna be great. I was just like, "Oh, look at that, uh-oh," and she like looks, and I was like, "Why did I point that out?"
I was
ruined
once
her whole
in
day.
a
It
similar
was awful.
situation where I was driving up Burnett, and I was driving northbound, and there was a car to my left, and there was a pigeon in the middle of my lane, and I was like, uh-oh. Like, I couldn't move. There was a car behind me. I couldn't, like, slow down. And in my head, I'm like, I'm going to hit this. I'm going to hit this. My wife's in the passenger seat. And sure enough, I hit it. And it was an explosion of feathers. I didn't know a bird had that many feathers on it.
Tons.
Like, I wish I could have seen
It
that from a
didn't anymore.
third-person perspective.
Yeah.
Because it was just like a shower of feathers everywhere. I wouldn't have believed it if I'd seen that in the movie. And then Esther went, whoa, did that really just happen? Like, it's unbelievable the amount of feathers on a
I thought you
pigeon.
run over a pillow or something.
Yeah.
Was it okay, or did you just
No,
like?
no, it was not okay.
I don't know how
It's like when
It
Randy,
lost all of its feathers instantly.
It's like when Randy Johnson hit that bird with the with the
It
pitch.
exploded.
It just feathers everywhere.
Craziest thing I've ever seen like that is there was a big plate glass window, and every now and then birds would hit it, and they would leave a dust print, like a perfect dust print of the bird, bam, on the window. And one time it happened, and we all looked like that, and somebody went over, started to go up and look to see the bird like laying on the ground by the window, and it was being chased by a predator bird, and the predator bird was like, okay, and just took him away. Which I think overall is probably better for everybody, because it's better to be knocked out and then eaten than to just be eaten.
Yeah, probably.
That'd be terrible.
Did you see the bird head in our parking lot a couple weeks ago?
Oh,
Yeah.
That was an Archie
All
Life,
these
wasn't it?
birds dying in
A
the
couple
parking
weeks
lot.
ago, like this must have been a week or two after we found the head, there was a bird body.
Yeah.
Just perfect bird body with no head. in
So
the
not so
parking lot.
perfect.
Well, I mean, like it looked like it had not been touched at all. It looked like someone just came and just like
Like it was
with the head.
a sacrificial placement.
The head and body got de-linked in space.
But it's like it was 2 weeks later that I saw the body. and
We,
it
we,
was
by the
still,
way,
like-
this is over the years I've seen this a few times.
When we
I
looked
think-
for the
Weird.
Congress office downtown, it was the same time that there was that mass bird die-off.
We talked about that on
Oh,
the
I
podcast.
remember that.
Yeah. Yeah, we thought that our office downtown was gonna have great parking because we went on like a random Monday. We're like, there's nobody down here. Downtown Austin's deader than a
It was
doornail.
Labor Day.
And I remember there was a dead bird laying in the middle of the crosswalk, and I think either Matt or Joel stepped right on the thing. And I was like, oh, don't step on a dead bird. And he's like, oh, I didn't see it. And then we
you
come
annoyed it.
Well, we come to find out, we had somehow missed as they were shutting down Central Austin because a bunch of birds had died in downtown Austin. And they closed the entire business district. And we were there looking at our building, checking shit out.
The worst car animal impact I saw was once again a bird. It was the car in front that hit the bird. A ton of birds just swooped down in front of the road, and we were just like, oh, Jesus. And one of them we saw go under the wheel, the back wheel of the car in front, and it just went, but it kind of bounced up like this, but the head had separated from the body, but they were still together in the air. So it was just like body and head tumbling separately and like spreading apart like this. And the guy who was driving and me both went like, ugh! And the body went one side of the car and the head went the other and showered the whole front in blood. And we were just like, oh, it was like a horror film. It was disgusting.
One time I was driving down to
You got a
visit.
picture of that, guys?
I was driving down to visit my family, where I grew up in that shitty-ass border town, and I was driving with a friend of mine, with Frank, who we all know. He was in the passenger seat. We're both driving down there, and we're like in the middle of nowhere, and all of a sudden this bird comes trying to fly across the highway, and with my car, I hit it with my antenna. And,
So it was like, wow, wow, wow.
yeah, it explodes into a bunch of feathers, and my antenna's like flapping back and forth. And I'm like, I have never seen that happen. I was like, what the fuck? I literally just killed a bird with my car antenna. Like, that's crazy.
I bet it was like cheese wire.
10 minutes later, it happened again.
Really?
I did it twice in that one trip. Within a 10-minute period, I killed 2 birds with my car antenna.
Wow.
I bet he replaced the antenna with a bird feeder
Yeah,
or
did
something.
you just like rub food all over it or something?
I was like, I can't begin to understand how impossible that is.
The odds are probably insane.
And that's probably never happened to you again, has it?
No. And to this day, my car doesn't have an antenna anymore.
Oh yeah.
Maybe it was deja vu.
I used to take my antenna off my truck because the parking garage we were in downtown, the height of my truck was literally that far below the clearance. That's it.
Yeah.
It was like a 6'6" truck in a 6'8"
I
garage.
always got the feeling you would try and hit the ceiling of it though, because you would
would you
gun
even
it in
try?
there.
You can just,
and it'd be
like,
like the
bounce
the
it?
roof of the truck would be like every time.
Everyone
I
would sit
can't
there like
believe you
this.
never hit it.
As if like doing this will help.
Well, the antenna would actually hit every time when I
Yeah.
go up a level. And it's like when I go through those parking garages, now I know exactly how tall my truck is. So and everyone's completely freaked out because it looks like you're gonna scrape.
Yeah.
it.
After you drive it a couple of times, it's no big deal.
Yeah, 'cause
like I
you
used
know
to
it's
drive your
no-
truck through that garage, and it was like, at first I would be real scared of it, and then you're like, ah, fuck it, I'm not gonna hit anything.
I always said it was like one of those submarine movies, you know, when you're like waiting for the depth charge to go off, everyone's like this.
I would duck when I was in your passenger seat.
Yeah, it's funny. That's why I would go faster
People
there. 'cause it
make
would
fun of
freak
people
out.
who do that thing when they duck when they're going under like a low ceiling in a car. But it makes sense because if the top of your car comes off, you'll be lower.
But you're still not, your head's not touching the
Yeah.
fucking top of the
Not
car.
scraping
But,
the
you
top
know,
of the car.
safer.
Yeah, but it is one of those things. It's like people always do make fun of other people who try to do things safely. Like, oh, you flinch. It's like, yeah, because if something had stabbed my throat, I might have guarded from that. You know.
Well, you say that to me all the time. You always bitch at me flinching.
Well, I bet you flinching because I go, hey, Gav, what's up? And you go, like this. Like, I'm not attacking you. I'm not throwing anything at you. You're so.
But usually you are.
That's how
Usually
you
you're
would
gonna
start.
shoot.
how you
I
would
have
start
not
it.
done
I
that.
associate your face with a flying shoe.
I could always tell when Bernie's about to kick a shoe. Your face goes emotionless and you just stare at you.
I make this face. I don't
Make
have shoes
no
on today. I got
facial
my
expression.
socks on.
Yeah, Bernie doesn't wear shoes anymore.
Those are my shark socks.
Your shark sound effect is my favorite.
Get a good look at that.
When,
So when did Shark Week become a huge deal?
No
Listen,
idea.
it's
Oh, they're all
irritating
pissed
me.
off now. People are pissed about that fake documentary they did.
They did a fake documentary.
They started off Shark Week.
Megalodon or whatever?
Yeah, they started off Shark Week with a fake documentary.
Megalodon.
A mockumentary.
That's her Twitter name.
Is it?
I think so.
What?
Is that
Is
your
it?
Twitter name? Oh, Megalodon.
Megzilodon.
Shout out.
Yeah, so they started Shark Week with that, and a lot of I guess shark purists got very upset about the fact that
Shark.
that discovery
What does
was.
that even mean?
People take Shark Week really fucking
Well,
seriously.
it's about
they
an animal that
shouldn't.
doesn't exist. It's like a prehistoric animal, and they made it seem like it's still alive, and they fabricated stories about sightings of it. And,
Yeah.
That's
and
what
it
most
attacking
Discovery
ships.
shows are, though. I saw a Discovery show about a werewolf. It was like, stay tuned to the end. You'll find out whether they exist.
They don't.
Let me guess, they don't.
Yeah.
Here, I'm going to read this thing right here. And remind everyone that this episode is brought to you by.
So
How
when,
does one get stock photos? Like, if I want to sell stock photos, can I do that?
You can probably do it.
I
Just contact a service like Shutterstock.
Yeah.
I have a library of photos and high-speed photography.
Do you?
Yeah.
Do you
for
sell
sale.
them?
Yeah. I get like a quarterly income from that.
Really?
Yeah. It's what I used to do in between jobs when I was in England.
Now you do slow-mo guys.
Yeah.
Which one is more rewarding of the two?
Are we allowed to talk about their slow-mo guys video?
Which one? Water balloon?
Yeah, about.
Water balloon?
Why is
If
it
it's
secret?
out, we can talk about it. If it's not out, we can't.
It's out, but about where it is now, where it can be seen.
Oh.
No, I don't know if that's.
I don't think that's public yet.
No, that's
Okay.
not public.
Well,
That, that happens all the time though. Like it's in
yeah.
a bunch of.
Yeah, there's a lot
places.
of distribution
That's
things.
not like a new.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty cool.
Deal with it, Barbara.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you guys got with Ruby, we signed a distribution deal with Crunchyroll, where they're going to be broadcasting Ruby for the rest of the season
Yeah.
as well.
I heard that. I think it was you guys who said that Crunchyroll is like the Netflix of anime. Like it's that big.
What's that?
It's like the Netflix of anime.
A very, it's not as big as Netflix, but for that genre, they focus on a very specific thing. I think if you're an anime fan, you know what Crunchyroll is. Want to
Yeah.
hand me a Stella?
I think they even have an Xbox app.
Hey,
I got
they
this
do.
new. I got this new opener. I wanted to use it. It's like curved.
Let me check.
have you tried the
it's-
BioShock? Keep me the opener. Have you tried the BioShock DLC yet?
No, you said not to.
Yeah, I tried it again this weekend. I just got even more
Is
frustrated.
it poopy doo
I-
doo?
What's that?
Poopy doo doo.
Is it poopy doo doo?
It's all
It's horde mode.
Oh.
essentially. But the really tough part about it, you want my bottle cap? The really tough part about it to me is that it's a little bit better than horde mode, a little bit, because it's like really short levels and there's like 7 to 8 enemies per level. But these blue ribbon challenges are just so infuriating because like you have to beat a level in a specific way. You have to say like, oh, on this level, kill everybody with the sky hooks, the sky strike, or only use the shotgun, or only use this, or use a different weapon and a different vigor on every enemy.
Oh
to
my
kill them.
God.
Yeah, and the thing is, there's like 15 progressive levels in each arena, and so you have to get the blue ribbon challenge on each individual level. So if you don't have like levels 13 and 14 and 15, you have to play through all the other levels to get to those to try the blue ribbon challenge.
Oh.
And there's some shitty ones like only use shotguns on people, and you're doing just
So
fine.
do you have to blue ribbon all the way up to there, or can
No.
you just like blow through the first 12 levels to get to 13?
You can blow through the levels, but that's not that easy, especially in some of the harder arenas. And then you get through there and get up to it, and like you have to kill everything with a shotgun, and there's an RPG soldier or a fireman, and they kill other people, and that counts against you because
Really?
yeah, because
Sounds
they got
annoying
killed by
as hell.
friendly fire. It's just kind of annoying more than anything else. It's just you
We
know,
were rewatching that BioShock Infinite TV commercial.
I was watching it today. I was watching some
Earlier
BioShock
today.
stuff today.
And I never understood the point of that TV commercial.
I don't either.
It's the one that's all pre-rendered, computer-generated footage, where it's Elizabeth about to be hung with a noose around her neck, and Booker's got a sniper rifle and is trying to save her. It's like, this didn't happen in the game. Like, I don't understand. Why would they be trying to hang her? It doesn't even make sense in the context of the game.
That's weird.
Yeah, and then he has to, I don't know.
And it came out right before the game came out.
Yeah, and they were still running once the game was out. I remember finishing the game and seeing that commercial for the first time, being like, this is nothing at all like what I just went through.
And BioShock just came up in conversation because did you read the story about the voice actor, and I don't know who he played in Half-Life 2, but he was in Half-Life 2, and he just decided to write on his blog. Basically, he removed it all.
I think it was in the NeoGAF forums.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
But he was writing that, they're not working on Half-Life 3 because they never called me in to do voice work for my primary character that's in the series. And they still haven't called me in for any kind of voice work. So yeah, they're not working
definitely not going to call him now, are they?
Yeah. Well, it was a huge retraction. Like, he was to the point where he was saying stuff like, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm sorry that I gave the impression to everyone that I thought I knew what I was talking about when I clearly don't know what I'm talking about. And the only person who knows what they're talking about is Gabe Newell. And anything he says is what is going on with the
All hell
franchise.
I'm surprised he didn't say it was my brother logged on as me. I didn't say that.
My little brother got my account.
My account got hacked.
I saw someone, I tweeted Gabe Newell's Twitter handle. I don't know what you call it, Twitter account. It's @Gabin, and his icon is just an animated Gabe Newell swimming through a pool of money.
That's his actual account?
Gabin.
That's what it was someone else in the video game industry talked about how they were happy to have sat down and talked with him today, along with other people, so I assume so.
Bloody hell.
Sometimes people tag the wrong account, though.
That does happen, like you just saw Gustavo.
Gustavo.
Yeah, that's true.
You should get Gustavo. That's a good one.
Or like that guy on
don't
Instagram
want
who's Burnie.
Oh, yeah,
What's
I don't
his
care
name?
about that.
Shout out to Chasing
Jason
Daniel.
Daniel.
Jesse Daniel.
I was so confused when that happened because I tagged you, Ashley, and Gavin when we were at World War Z premiere, and it came up as Chasing Daniel, and I
I
was
was
like,
looking around. I was looking for him. I was like, did we bring another
did I
guy?
write that? What? That's weird.
It's very confusing. He's
This
more
is,
than happy to
you
pick
know-
up those followers, though.
I
You know how when people fall off high stuff,
I know that, yeah. I know when they do
and it's
that.
like, they broke both their legs because they fell so
Oh, they
far.
broke all their legs. Okay.
You done?
but not my head.
Why break both your legs when you could just break one?
I don't think you're thinking about it. Why not try to break none is the question. If
No,
you
no,
put
no.
down one leg,
No, no.
that leg's getting broken.
You fall 10 stories, you're gonna break your
I
leg.
never do that.
God damn it.
This is not Gabe Newell's real Twitter account.
Oh, what are you doing? What are you doing?
There's no way this is
I
real.
just checked it out. There's no way.
There's no way. Sorry for the misinformation. Remove that from the final podcast.
Gus is
I
now
think you
out of the
didn't even
voice
bother.
cast for Half-Life 3.
You didn't bother checking. But anyway, so you fall 10 stories, you land on your legs, you're gonna break both legs. Everyone knows this, so why don't people just tuck one of them up? You'll break the body fall with one leg, obliterate it, but you've still got a good leg.
No.
What are you
mean
gonna
no?
do with an obliterated leg and
You-
a good leg?
Hop to the hospital.
Here's what you've learned. Here's
Hop to
what
a
you've
cab.
learned. You've learned that people fall 10 stories, they land on both legs, they break both their legs, but they live.
Yeah.
If you just land on one leg, you'll probably die.
Yeah.
Why?
The force.
Because your head will hit the ground that much harder, or your vital stuff will go kaplunk
I don't have
faster.
as much balance. It also
It's
kind
scientific.
It also
Scientific.
Using this leg as a cushion.
it lessens the impact if you have two legs that are.
You understand that landing on two legs would be better than landing on one leg overall.
Yeah, but I'm saying you could save a leg.
Yeah, but you
But
could just
kill
die
yourself.
because you landed on one leg and it drove your femur up through your hip.
All right.
And
All right. Think about falling and stuff as like bugs to Barbara.
two legs are better than
Yeah.
if you had three legs, land on three
don't-
legs, you'd be fine. You go ba-dink and you'd be good. You wouldn't even tip over.
There's
You
a,
would land
there's
like a crystal.
I think it's just human instinct to land on both legs when.
I just think you're falling 10 stories. You don't have a lot of control.
You know why
of
it's human
how
instinct?
You land.
Because things that land on two legs survived. And then it's true. So that's why it's instinct to do it.
There's a terrible story in Anthony Kiedis's autobiography of him.
Yeah.
When he was a kid, him and Flea would like jump off the roof of this apartment complex into the pool that was in the apartment.
I don't like where this is
One
going.
time he jumped and he misjudged it and he jumped over the pool,
Oh, God.
landed on his like heels first, like just over the pool, and fell back into the pool with a broken back.
Oh my god.
Who's this? Anthony Kiedis did
Anthony
that?
Kiedis, yeah.
Wow.
See, I can't watch those fail compilation videos because people falling and like things snapping the wrong way.
Yeah, I
that
hate
gets
that.
me.
No, I hate that. Oh, did
Yeah.
you see the video? It's a really old video probably from like 1920 or 1910 or something, of one of the guy. He was trying to invent the parachute. He had like a parachute
Trying
suit on.
to invent the parachute.
And
Obviously, it failed.
apparently
How do
everyone
I
was,
make this?
everyone was like, do it to a dummy, make a dummy, and then it was in France, so he was jumping off the Eiffel Tower, and he was like, yeah, strap a dummy to it, and we'll see if it works. He was like, no, it's such a good design that I'm just gonna jump off the Eiffel Tower. And he like got permission from France or whatever to jump off the Eiffel Tower, and he just ate shit, just died. And it's on video, they filmed it, and it's just such an impact. It's just like, you just see him come all the way, it's just like,
Where do you
Do you
watch
think he
that?
realized it was a mistake at any point? Like, like, oh shit, this is too fast.
He's kind of like hesitating before he jumps, and then he's just like, and the thing just doesn't open. Like it doesn't have enough time to open. He
Oh,
just
it
hits
does.
it. I think like at the last minute it was about to open, and then he's just like, and they carry his body away.
I think if you had the opinion,
Hey.
it's a drawing of it. There's an actual film of
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
I don't know if I
The-
want
the-
We had to drop the ball control room.
They drew it. That's how good they are.
Yeah.
They
The
just drew
video
that.
actually is
Sketch
not. The video is not graphic. It's filmed from so far away. You just see the impact of a human body on the ground.
I don't wanna see
But
that.
even like if I'd seen that like 10 years ago, that'd have been extraordinarily graphic for me. That's a very graphic thing.
Yeah.
Knowing
just knowing someone died.
There you go. Just
Yeah.
knowing somebody died, I think, can really have an impact
Yeah.
on you.
Speaking of old videos,
An impact?
my wife sent me a link earlier or I guess late last week.
I see what you did.
Or I guess there's this video of Helen Keller talking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess like I'd never seen it. I never
But
realized like how she learned how to
Is
talk.
she saying water?
She like talks about her disappointments in life, and
there's also videos of Stephen Hawking talking.
It'd be pretty clear
Probably
what
a
those would
lie.
be.
of course there's videos of Stephen
She goes
Hawking
up there and
talking.
Why?
I was more deaf
Because
than
that's
blind.
like current time. There's cameras. Helen
Yeah.
Keller was a long time ago.
I really
Yeah.
didn't like going with the wind.
Killer
I got
assholes
stung
over
by
there.
a bee once.
We're over here. Yeah. It was really. Did I have a sandwich today? Not as
It
good.
was a trying time.
Which is what Helen Keller would be upset about. Like, what were her disappointments in life?
I'm having a great time sleeping at the moment.
Are you?
Are you wearing the
I've-
face mask?
Yeah, I actually am. But I've been having the last 3 nights. I've gone back into the same dream, and it's awesome.
Which dream is it?
That's pretty cool.
The first day I was I could tell it was a dream because I was in a bookshop. That would never happen. And I saw Courtney Cox. I was like, Jesus, that's bloody Courtney Cox.
Yeah, the
Just-
book part wouldn't happen, but Courtney Cox.
It
Every
might.
day- every
That
day.
could actually happen. And I made eye contact. I was like, oh man, maybe I should say something. And I don't remember what happened. But the second night we actually started talking, and the third night it was going well. So I think tonight might be the night.
You gonna seal
I
the
think,
deal?
I think I'm
seal
gonna
the deal?
bang Courtney Cox tonight.
Good for
in my
you.
dream. But I'm amazed I'm able to get back into the moment in the same exact moment in the dream. Have you ever had that?
Maybe.
I've had it where I
either.
fall asleep to go back into a dream that was so awesome,
Yeah.
and it's worked where I was
Yeah,
able to go
yeah.
back into a dream.
I've done
That's-
that, but never like consecutive nights.
Yeah.
I actually had day 3 of Courtney Cox on the plane this morning. I flew back from Oregon this morning.
How'd it
And
work?
Maybe tonight she's
Do
gonna.
you
put
think she's
some-
dreaming about you
I hope
at
so.
the same time? She's like,
this weird
there's this
British
weird
kid."
British kid I keep dreaming about. We're in a bookstore.
But it's weird because it's not current. It's like season 1 of Friends, Courtney Cox when she was all young.
Are you gonna?
It's not Courtney Cox,
Courtney
Arquette.
Cocker?
No,
You
it's
just
not.
blew it. You had an opportunity. Now you're gonna be
I
all.
said-
She's gonna be mad at you in your dream
But
because
it's
you said
actually
that
really fun to try and pick someone up in a dream because you can be. I'm not sure whether I know it's a dream, but I'm just like a bit more adventurous. And it's been fun trying to bang Courtney Cox. It's been a lot of
I
fun.
would think pretty much a slam dunk. I mean, no offense, but if it's my dream, it's pretty much a done deal on
I don't know,
first
yeah.
night.
It's
Yeah, I
still
feel like
with
you have to try to pick someone up in a dream.
Yeah, this is the.
Gavin's so bad at talking to
third
women. It
date.
takes 3
Yeah,
nights.
here's how my dreams work. Hey, I met Michelle Obama. What a slut! That's how that works out. There's no third date on a plane at a bookstore or anything like that.
We're gonna go to the park tonight. You go back to her apartment for some coffee.
They're gonna have their first kiss.
I met Michelle
hold her
Obama,
hand,
and long
maybe.
story short, I live in France now. I had to leave the country. That's the
You
way
and
that works
Roman
out.
Polanski are roommates.
Roman Polanski. Don't let me with that, dude. Come on.
Fucking fugitive from the U.S.
Yeah, for pedophilia.
This is great. Now tonight I'm gonna end up banging Roman Polanski and Courtney Cox.
No, you get banged by Roman Polanski.
How much of
Let me
an
tell you how
audience
this works.
gonna
knows who
jump to
Roman
Kuala-
Polanski is? What was the famous thing that Roman Polanski did? What's his
He
biggest thing?
banged a 13-year-old in the arsehole or something?
No, what's the famous movie that he directed?
Chinatown.
Did he direct? Kubrick did Lolita.
Chinatown.
Is he Chinatown?
No, he's most famous
I'll
for
say it
his
a fourth time.
cameo
Did he?
in Rush Hour
Chinatown.
3
Rosemary's Baby.
Yeah, Rosemary's Baby.
And
and Rush Hour 3.
I think he was like, I want to say he was
He
38.
did The Pianist? Oh, wow.
Do you say
Not in America.
pianist?
Pianist.
He's a famous director who's not allowed in
Pianist.
America.
Pianist.
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 Pianist. He didn't do a dick. He did the movie
did?
about a guy who played
Harvey
piano.
Keitel?
Do you
He
put
goes
your
full frontal
pianist
in
in
that
your
movie.
wife?
Yeah.
What about Courtney
What?
Cox?
Harvey Keitel goes full frontal in The Pianist.
He does?
That's the Holly Hunter, right? Yeah.
No. This is the one with Adrian Brody.
Oh, that's what. It's a. Okay, sorry.
won an Oscar
I know
for
the
it.
one you're thinking of.
I'm thinking of
That's,
The Piano.
The Piano, yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
What's her name? Anna Paquin
similar?
won an Oscar for The Piano.
Anna Paquin did win an Oscar
When she
for
was,
that. And she
still
goes
really
full
young.
frontal in
True Blood?
True Blood. Which does anybody watch that show anymore?
No.
That show sucks. Crap.
It seems stupid. Hillbilly vampires? That's what it's about?
Yeah.
Jeff watches it non-stop, and I'll watch whatever crap he's watching if I walk in the living room. I can't watch that shit.
It seems
Bad.
like absolute garbage.
It's nonsense.
I've just heard them like with their fake accents once. I was like,
How do they
I'm not
speak
gonna
on that
do
show?
We talked about
They
this.
force like a New Orleans or Louisiana accent.
Yeah,
or
it's bad,
something.
man.
That's
really
weird.
Awful. To,
Can you do
Because
the
they're all
accent?
British people, so it's British people trying to do a bad American accent.
There's British people. Which British people?
I don't know. They're British.
And a
actors, aren't they?
Paquin.
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 Pianist?
There's that Skarsgård. What's his name?
Still in Skarsgård?
Skarsgård.
Peter Skarsgård.
It's not that guy.
Schmorgan
Morgan
Hickenborn.
Hickenborn.
It's not Schwarzenegger
Cafe
either.
de Stoof?
This is the big, tall, like blonde
Barber
heartthrob. We saw this guy at Comic-Con. He's the big, blonde, tall, buff. What?
His name's Alexander.
Alexander what?
Skarsgård.
Skarsgård. Alexander Skarsgård. I was right.
Skarsgård.
Isn't
was-
that a planet in Thor?
Alexander Skarsgård. It's where they fight the
What is the
cave
planet?
trolls.
What's their planet
Where
called?
is
Asgard.
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 See, I thought it was familiar.
It's old.
Asgard.
Saw the dude at Comic Con. He was staying at the same hotel, and he was like, just for whatever reason, decided to go out and hang out in the lobby for a while to take pictures. Seemed like a nice enough guy. It was literally the only time I've ever seen anyone have to deal with this, where it was just an endless line of women who were just essentially just throwing themselves at him. They were saying like, "I just want to let you know that I would absolutely sleep with you," and he goes, "You're very nice. That's very kind of you. Take a picture, all that stuff." Like, totally no reaction. And the next woman said the exact same thing. And one after the other was constantly that.
We ran into, we also experienced that firsthand when we had dinner with our celebrity friend one time.
Yeah.
Where,
It was the same kind of thing too, the passive thing they do.
Yeah, where we were eating dinner with someone at this one
Oh, I know
booth,
who you're talking about.
And there was another booth next to us with people, I guess, who were fans of his. And when they were done with their dinner, they came over. They want to say, we just want to say we're really big fans. You're on my list, so if you want to do anything, it's okay. My husband's fine with it. And the husband's like,
Hey.
like waving. And it's like, and he's like, oh, okay, thanks, I'm glad you're a fan. He's great. And she's like, no, seriously, you're on my list. It's okay.
Yeah,
And-
you're like one of my top 5, like whatever people that I can sleep with. So it's totally fine.
I
with my
thought
husband.
that was like
I
a
get that all the
friend's
time, too.
joke.
And the guy played it off just fine. Our friend, where he goes, like the husband was going like this, and he goes, well, sir, it's too bad because you're on my list to the husband. So
Yeah, great response.
it was a great
Totally,
response.
totally.
I thought I
they-
met this person.
Really
He's
breaks
a funny
the
guy.
ice.
Yeah, you know him.
Okay.
It's fine. It's Ed from Bare
Yeah,
Naked
I've-
Ladies. Yeah, so
I was
it's
wondering
fine.
why you were
'Cause
saying
I'm
that.
worried people
Figured
are
out.
going to assume it's other people, and it's
Okay.
like, But Ed's a musician who travels,
yeah.
and he just deals with that kind of
Courtney
stuff.
I guess he
Cox.
didn't do anything wrong. He played the situation correctly.
No, it was a weird thing to have
He
to
didn't go
witness.
and
Yeah.
he didn't go bang that lady.
Maybe he did.
Maybe he didn't play that situation.
I would love to test that out and just to see how full of shit she really
Like,
is.
all right, he has to watch though.
Yikes. Do you have a list like that? You
Courtney
never heard that
Cox.
thing?
No.
I have, like-
1994.
1994.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's who I'm dealing with in the
So
team.
would you be 1994 Gavin?
Your long hair.
Yes, but you both have to be from 1994.
So does she have like that short bob?
Then she has to leave the country.
Nice.
She's rooming with you and Roman Polanski's.
She's directing Adrian Brody in her next film. So was
We're
then
almost at time. We're wrapping up soon.
Cox the first person you had a crush on that you can remember?
No, I wasn't even that obsessed by her. Just since I've been chatting to her and stuff.
He has a thing for girls.
Really come to like her in your time
we
together.
really have a good thing going on.
I really connected with this imaginary person that
I
I've
really
made up
did.
in my
That
brain.
says- my life, I guess, is pretty sad at the moment, but I'm having a great time. I'm really excited to go to bed.
Can't wait to go to sleep.
Just take a bunch of sleeping pills and drink a
This
bunch
is,
of
how we,
booze.
this is how we started today. Gavin talking about more effective ways he can go to sleep. He's actually looking forward to going home and going to bed so he can carry on his fake relationship.
He's like,
Are
I
you
just want to sleep
disappointed?
forever so I can be with Courtney Cox for the rest.
I also
Gavin, where
woke
do you
up
guys
at
think you'll go
3.
tonight? Do you think you'll go get some dinner?
Think you'll hold hands?
Some fake dinner?
Maybe like a park, like a Central Park. Maybe.
Yeah. Come on. It's
Tonight's
Courtney
the night.
Cox, not
Tonight's
Michelle
the night.
Obama. Show her some respect. You want to go on a double with me and Michelle tonight?
Let's do it.
By the way, just want to point out, never had a dream about Michelle Obama. Have a lot of
I
respect
like
for the
how
woman.
she's the go-to person all of a sudden.
Well, you know why I picked Michelle Obama? Because
Well,
Michelle
yeah,
Obama
why?
is political figure, and they seem to be
Sluts?
fair games and huge sluts. What? You're like, political figures have no, you can't
Morals?
libel a political figure, can
What
you?
do you mean?
What?
Can you?
I think you can, yeah.
I don't know if you can. I think they're pretty much like, Brandon can weigh on this. I think political
Brandon,
figures.
the expert in libel.
I think political figures are more subject to parody than anybody else. Like you
Even
can
more so
parody.
than like famous actors?
You can use their image. You can parody them, and get away with it a lot more so than any other type of person.
Especially Anthony Weiner.
especially.
That guy.
Did you see the interview he did with the British reporter?
No?
Yeah, Anthony Weiner is the guy who had to drop out of the governor's race or is it mayor for New York?
It was governor before, but now he's running for mayor of New York.
He's running for mayor of New York.
He
And
was a senator, wasn't he, originally?
I think so.
Yeah.
he keeps having a problem of sending naked photos of himself to women.
To
that
himself.
To
You
himself.
are looking okay.
You look great. Good luck, Governor Weiner.
You are great.
I was
You're the
making a
best looking
reference to an
governor
older
ever.
podcast.
But he got an interview with a British reporter, and when she talked, he would go like, I just don't believe, I feel like I'm in a Monty Python sketch. And then he started mocking her accent.
Really?
Like, right there, like, she was asking questions about stuff, and he just started mocking her
What a
during the whole interview. It was
I bet
really
she loved it.
what a wiener.
bizarre.
Oh, I bet she loved it.
Because I think I played everywhere, man. The fact that he lost it, and he was,
What a dick.
yeah.
He should change his name to
we-
Anthony Dick.
There was a.
What?
I was gonna say, can we talk about some new merch before we go?
Sure, we're ready to go. I'm wrapping up here
Okay.
immediately.
2
So
There's a bunch of new hats and bags and everything back to school stuff in the RT store.
Is this a new hat?
Yeah, this is a brand new hat.
Really?
This is one of them. You have this one and a baseball cap and some backpacks and all that stuff. So
That's
check
our
out
Cuban revolutionary.
roosterteeth.com/store for all that stuff.
Viva la revolution.
So
Have you played Gone Home yet?
no, I was gonna play Gone Home and Brothers this weekend, but I got into the Hearthstone beta
Oh.
and I played it nonstop all weekend. I'll try to play Gone Home and Brothers before the patch this week, so we can talk about it.
What is Hearthstone? Is it like a MOBA?
It is. The best way to describe it is Magic the Gathering if it was set in the Warcraft universe.
Okay, so card game.
It's like a card game, but it's all Warcraft themed.
Why hasn't World of Warcraft broken out the battle arena into its separate game?
Battle Arena?
Like the PvP, what do they call the
Oh.
instances? What is that called?
Yeah, like instances or
No, like the
arena?
PvP stuff, the arena
Arena.
stuff. Isn't that how we started this conversation? The arena?
I'm
And you go,
drunk.
the arena. But how come they haven't broken that out to like a separate MOBA, basically, and taking advantage of that, like a free-to-play MOBA?
It seems almost like, yeah, you could totally
Is
do
that
that.
what Smite is? MOBA.
Yeah, and League of Legends.
That
Dota.
game. I do not like games like that, but Smite is really fun.
Is it?
Yeah.
I hear it's one of the most accessible ones.
It's free, isn't it?
No, I mean like in order to play it, it's.
What do you mean?
It's good. It's easy to jump into.
You can jump into it and play. Like you guys
That's
played
what
League of
accessible
Legends and did a Let's Play in League of Legends, and you guys were lost the entire way through that, right?
Yeah, I'm confused
Yeah.
a lot by that.
That's what I meant by accessible.
Okay.
There you go, champ. All right, we'll wrap it up.
So, well,
I have one
if you're
more
gonna,
question.
I'm going to tell you, if you're going to play something between now and the patch, you should play Brothers and play it the whole way through.
Yeah, Brothers and Gone Home are on my list before the patch. Splinter Cell Blacklist comes out tomorrow.
I'm passively telling you, don't play Gone Home. It might be one of the
okay.
most overrated things I've ever encountered in video
I'll play it
games.
anyway. We'll talk about it.
You should play it.
If we're
And
talking
then
about-
watch Orange is the New Black on Netflix.
Did we?
Jesus.
Did we talk about the X-Ray and Vav shirts on the podcast yet?
no, but they're also in the store.
Do you know who's winning the sales race?
You guys, I think you're winning.
Did
Oh
you-
yeah.
Did you? Oh, the shirts. I
But
thought you
Yeah.
said
The
something
bundle
else.
is the best selling.
The what?
I thought you said something else. Shirts. I thought you said another word.
All right.
Turds.
Well, thanks for watching, everyone. We'll be
Hey.
back on Wednesday with the patch, and we're back next Monday with another Rooster Teeth podcast. That was a good
I love
toss.
you.
Bye.
Especially you.
Merry Christmas.
Welcome to the Rooster Teeth podcast, used to be known as the Drunk Tank podcast. We usually got Burnie, Gus, Jeff, and Joe, and Gavin's back from the UK. They shoot the shit, chatter on, talk about anything that they can think of at all. They're just so freaking cool. Welcome to the podcast. Welcome to the Rooster Teeth podcast, used to be known as the Drunk Tank podcast. We usually got Burnie, Gus, Jeff, and Joe.